What's up, Cinemaniacs? We're back with episode 6 of Cinetalk with the Cinebros. And what is Cinetalk with the Cinebros? But it's a bunch of movie fans that get together and we talk, speculate, and even sometimes rant about movies. And today we have the usual suspect over here, my buddy, Sir Chadwick Davis. How's it going, Chad?
What is going on today, Shane?
Yes. Good day, good morning.
Beautiful morning. It wasn't beautiful outside.
It's beautiful inside.
But it was beautiful inside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. And next up, we also have a new to the show, kind of, guest, because last time he was the Doug on the couch, and this time he's the Doug at the desk.
And he was Google, too.
And what's that?
He was Google, too.
Yes, he was Google. Mr. Fact Checker himself. Apparently, he is the man to go to when it comes to movie names.
Yes.
So we're going to introduce... We're going to introduce him right now. We have the cat on top of the hat.
Yeah, the cat on top of it.
Doug.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Woohoo. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Woo. Say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom. I love you, Mom.
I heard she watches. All right, so what we're going to do here is we are going to introduce Doug to the show. And what we do with all our new guests is we have them pick some of their favorite movies of all time. They give them to us, and then I kind of play a game with them. I usually do the Fuck, Marry, Kill, and I'm still thinking about going with that. We'll see what his movies are, and then I'll decide if we're going to go with that. Nice. If not, I'll pick something else. But we'll start off right now with Doug and his 3 favorite movies here.
This is ridiculously easy for me. One choice was kind of the 4th choice, but The Avengers, it's become a classic in my book now. And Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber's the man. And now I just lost Jurassic Park. Sorry.
Hey, that actually that's a pretty tough combo. I mean, those are like 3 ultimate guy classic movies, especially with Die Hard and then Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park, everybody loves. I mean, who doesn't like dinosaurs?
That was the first movie I ever saw in theaters. My dad took me when I was like 3 years old or whatever.
That's a great experience.
Yeah.
I'm not sure for a 3-year-old. That's kind of terrifying, but dinosaur wrapped in my But overall, I mean, that is a great way to introduce yourself to the movies. I can see why you love movies. So we have those 3 movies. We will. I like those 3 movies. We're gonna play Fuck, Marry, Kill. So what the deal is? These are the last 3 movies in existence. No more movies ever again. These are your 3 movies. One you have to wipe out totally. Just kill it off. Done. Another one you get to keep and watch for life. It's like in your DVD player on repeat. Just boom, 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 boom. And then you have another movie which you get to watch for over the course of a weekend. So that means Saturday hits, you can take that one movie that you have in there, rip it out of the DVD player, and then go and hit play on this other movie and get some different entertainment. What are you gonna pick?
That's good. I think I got to get rid of Die Hard. I love Die Hard.
Ooh,
I love Die Hard.
Bruce Willis.
I think I got to get rid of Die Hard.
You just Hans Grubered. Freaking, oh my gosh. You just Hans Gruber Die Hard. Wow.
Damn.
The next 2 are really hard. I really love Jurassic Park and The Avengers. I think for replay value, I'd have to go with The Avengers. I feel like I could watch The Avengers forever. I feel like Jurassic Park, I would save for that one special weekend where I could watch it.
See, and I think I'm gonna go in and play this too. That's what we do.
Yep.
We do here, and I am absolutely on board with your choices. Like Die Hard for me, I'm glad I have that. I'll always have the memories of him, and walking on the glass and all that kind of stuff coming down, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, all that kind of stuff. I love that movie. But when it comes down to it, Jurassic Park is probably maybe top 50 greatest movies of all time.
Definitely.
And it's so phenomenal. But when it comes down to Avengers, I actually just watched it with my son for the first time. And he loved the movie. And that movie is great. And I watched it again. I've probably seen it about maybe 6 to 8 times. And I could watch that on repeat because there's everything. You have comedy, you have action, you have, the sci-fi side of it. So many different aspects, and Jurassic Park would be a great kind of one weekend splurge. So I'm absolutely on board with you on that. How about you?
I'm going a little bit different than you guys.
All right.
It's a very hard choice for me too. I haven't seen The Avengers. I would love to see it, so I'm going to use that as my one
weekend?
One weekend movie. I'm gonna sit down and watch it.
All right.
I'm gonna keep Die Hard all the time. It has the comedy in it. It has the action in it.
Yep.
It pretty much hits on all marks.
And one of the greatest movie villains of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hans Gruber.
I like Bruce Willis. It was just that was a really good movie. So yeah, that's the way I would have. I would unfortunately have to get rid of Jurassic Park, even though it is one of my favorite movies. Like, it's probably in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. But going with those movies, if I had to sit down and just watch a movie over and over again, I would want some comedy in it. And
hold on to your butts.
Yeah, that's crazy, but yeah, I would. That's the way I would have to go with that one.
I can't believe that.
See, you're gonna regret that when you watch the Avengers for that one weekend. You're gonna be like, I really wish I'd picked that as my movie forever.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Maybe I might change my mind after watching the Avengers. But
over $2 billion worldwide at the box office.
No, it's crazy. Yeah,
and it might make that in the opening weekend. This
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so that's our little introduction to Doug and his kind of like his movie style. Seems very action heavy, and with a sprinkle of everything in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. That's good. That we'll have some good topics to talk about then. I mean, I know it seems like you must be into some comic books, kind of superhero movies.
I'm a big comic book fan.
I am too. So yeah, this will be good. We're gonna go into the movie that you guys picked. We had three different movies. Chad picked was it Blades of Glory?
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory. I picked Old School, and Sarah picked Cabin in the Woods, which we said we'd watch, so we're gonna have to watch together because that's gonna be a tough one. I got to find the right time to watch that.
It's a good watch though.
She did a terrible job describing.
Yeah, the way that she described it was pretty terrible, but you would. It was definitely
comedy gold.
Yeah, it was definitely. I laughed watching the podcast after. I mean, it was definitely pretty wild.
So, and what happened was we had Cabin in the Woods. Phil finished in last. But the voting was close.
It
overall.
was really very close.
I think that was just a couple of votes away from Blades of Glory, which finished second. And I am again the victor. Yes,
winner.
I'm gonna clap for I'm gonna give myself a golf.
Yeah, winner.
Hurt so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good.
Yes, I'm very, very excited about all that, and so I am up 3-2 now in the ranks, and we got Old School. So Old School was the movie that we started off with today. How was your start to this day? This morning we get here, we flip on this movie, and immediately we start laughing.
Yes, immediately. Like the second it came on, like we were laughing before it came on. I think actually.
I think
I was laughing as you were taking out of the case. Like I'm like, oh my god, here we go. Like, and the opening credits there, just the still shot of the play menu. We were laughing already at it. Like, oh my god, this is going to be an awesome experience.
Because of course we played the unrated version.
Yeah.
Because when you got it, you got to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course.
Yeah.
So I mean, the unrated. I mean, this movie is so quotable, just like most of these movies that hurt so good.
Yep.
We have Old School comes in. You have them, kind of Luke Wilson stepping in and finding his wife kind of cheating on him and everything.
Yep.
Gets out of his conference early, come home, surprise his wife, and he ends up getting the surprise.
Yeah.
It starts off right with a bang. A bang, literally.
Yeah, literally a bang, yeah.
And, Juliette Lewis plays his wife, and she knocks that role out of the park. I mean, so, funny, trashy, kind of, so great.
Yep.
And obviously, it takes a pretty interesting turn, unfortunately for Luke Wilson's character. So it goes into that, and then of course they get into where he's at the wedding. You have the wedding singer in there. I need you now tonight.
The Dan band, yep.
I fucking need you more than ever. You have all that, and it's just that, and you have Will Ferrell and his wife, kind of like what?
The look that he gives,
So funny.
No.
And of course Vince Vaughn's all into it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're the one.
Yeah. You're the lady.
Yeah, you're the lady. Oh, such a great opening to the movie. The first scene in the movie. I mean, the first act in the movie is just so good. It sets the movie up for success. Yep. I mean, this movie. You have a lot of comedies out there that just kind of go off one-liners and jokes and stuff like that, but don't really have a good story to kind of tie it all together. I mean, this is this never happens.
Yeah.
It could never ever happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But the way they told it makes you believe it, which sucks you into the movie,
Yeah.
and then you're just bombarded with one-liners and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, which are hilarious. Earmuffs, all that kind of stuff. I mean, Doug, how did you feel about watching? I know you like old school.
I haven't seen Old School in a long time, so it was like a good refresher of Old School. Because I can't even think of the last time I actually watched Old School, so like I forgot half the jokes.
It's nice because that's with me with Dodgeball last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I watched Dodgeball, and when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot about that!" And it's just like cracks you up all over again.
Yeah.
It's like the one good thing about watching a movie, like, and then taking some time off from it, especially like classic movies like that. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen Monty Python so many times, it's like. It's so I can't forget all the lines.
Yeah.
Like it's like almost impossible now.
Yeah.
But like movies like Dodgeball, which I hadn't seen in 3 or 4 years, now you're kind of like, oh my god, you just totally remember.
forgot
It's
how
like
good this was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yep.
It's like, oh, I need to watch that again. You
Yeah,
know,
yep.
bring some more people in.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, Old School, definitely the rewatchability of that. You could watch that easily a couple times a year.
Oh, yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you had some friends and stuff like that. And you know, that's one of those movies that even though the story is good and it kind of holds you together, if you know the movie, you could just have it on in the background
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
walk into scenes and you're guaranteed to laugh. Like
Yeah.
every 5 minutes they hit you over.
Oh, yeah.
They have very brief times with, Luke Wilson, and I can't remember what the actress's name is, but the girl that he's kind of trying to hook up with
Yeah.
throughout the course of the movie. They have some, I would say, duller scenes
Yeah.
because they're just kind of
Like in
flirting
the
back
diner,
and forth,
they're in the diner talking,
and-
and
but that, I mean, when they're in the diner,
But, yeah.
Avi comes
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
the Godfather.
yeah.
Your money's not good here.
yeah,
Your money's not
no
good here.
good here. And then Elijah Cuthbert comes up at the end, and she's like,
Alicia,
We're getting
yeah,
ready
yeah.
for prom.
yeah, getting ready for prom.
Oh my God.
She's got the high
She's
school
got the high school
volleyball.
jacket on. But that I can explain. I'm sure you can. Yeah, so I mean the whole movie, I mean from front to back, it's just laugh after laugh after laugh. What was your favorite scene, Chad? What was your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene in the movie. My favorite scene was I'm gonna have to say was when they were at the party, and Stifler. He's in control of the animals.
Oh,
Animal control.
Uh-huh.
He got the Mexican dart gun that he got, you know. And Will Ferrell's sitting there with it, playing around with it. He's, hey, don't do that. You know, that could
right-
pierce a rhino or something like that.
Yeah, right from
Boom!
right off the bat. He basically tells him in the middle of the sentence,
Yeah.
he's like, that can pierce a rhino's skin from like 200 yards out. It's like, boom, right in the neck. Like,
And then he's talking to him.
And then he's like, "You crazy man, you crazy man, crazy man. I like you, you're crazy man."
And then he falls inside the pool. You know, he's at the bottom, and then the music comes on. Hello, darkness. Hello.
yeah, and then he's making out with his wife, but
And,
no,
and then he's
making out with
tonguing Stifler. And then he pushes him back into the pool after. I love that scene. That was definitely my
and they
favorite
brought
scene.
it back too at the end. I didn't remember that where he was like, thank you. He's like, I could have died.
Yeah.
They could have found me when he's at the radio station.
Yep.
He's like, without him, he's like, I would have been, found dead at the bottom of a drained pool.
Yeah.
Like, like, that's so good.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene.
Yeah, that was great. So what about you, Doug? What was your favorite scene of the movie?
It was the scene I forgot about was the therapy scene where like
Oh
he
my
meets the therapist. I completely forgot that scene was in the movie. The second it started, I started crying because it was so funny.
The odds are that it's just regular white cotton panties,
yeah.
but I was kind of wondering. It could be silk. It could be silk.
It could be a
panties.
thong.
Wait! I thought we were in the nest. I thought we were in the. I thought, what's going on? Yeah, just go ahead.
I'm just scared I'm only gonna be sleeping with one person.
Yeah.
The rest of my life.
Kind of points his head towards her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, as far as you guys both. That was my scene. Frank the Tank going in the pool.
Yep.
But I mean, there's so many other scenes. I mean, you have. The earmuff scenes. Like, come on.
Yeah.
All you have to do is say earmuffs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
earmuffs.
You're upsetting Max now.
No, say, fuck, shit. And then Frank the Tank's like,
Cock, dick,
cock,
balls.
balls. And he's like, we're just proving a point. You don't have to celebrate it. Come on.
Vince Vaughn was unbelievable in this movie.
Yes.
His quick wit was awesome in this movie. It's kind of like Wedding Crashers, like
a little dulled down from Wedding Crashers.
Dulled down a little bit, but
because you don't get it as much.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get him as much as in Wedding Crashers, but his quick wit showed out. It pretty much shined in this movie. I thought like just his couple of scenes. You know, he's more than a couple scenes, but
So that's where I'm going to go next with this.
okay.
Who is your favorite character? I'm going to start off with Doug here. Who's your favorite character in this movie?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell?
Will
Frank the
Ferrell.
Tank.
Frank the Tank.
When it hits the
Frank the
lips.
Tank.
When it hits
Yeah,
the
when it
lips.
hits the lips, it tastes so good.
Snoop!
Snoop-a-loop!
Come on, you can bring your green hat. Oh, it's such a good movie. How about you, Chad? Who's your favorite character?
I'm gonna have to go with my boy Blue.
Yeah?
My boy Blue.
Yeah, the guest appearance doesn't have many lines.
Doesn't have that many lines, but he's great in it.
Singing at the piano at the end of the credits.
Ring the fucking bell, you pansy.
Yes, absolutely. You just stole my quote.
I feel bad now. You can have my quote.
I don't want your stinking.
I'm sorry. I had to use Blue, and that was one of his one-liners that he used. And I'm sure you can come up with another one. I mean,
I'm
from
gonna
this.
have to try.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel horrible now.
If I have to pick a favorite character in this movie, I mean, you could go with so many different ways. I mean, Jeremy Piven was hilarious
Yes,
in the
yes.
evil role.
Yeah, cheese.
Yes, yeah. I mean, even yeah. Didn't we lock
we
you in
throw
a
you
dumpster?
Didn't we throw you in the dumpster?
Did we lock you in a
Yeah,
dumpster?
I got out.
I got out. Okay.
Shut your mouth, Chang. It's Wang.
Wang.
Whatever.
Turn around. There's so many. I mean, oh man. I mean, Vince Vaughn. I'll pick Vince Vaughn because this is kind of the precursor to Wedding Crashers, which is my all-time favorite R-rated comedy. I mean, that movie. I love that movie to death. Like, I can't get enough of that movie, and I'm gonna have to go with that. I'm gonna have to go with Vince Vaughn because this is how we got him in Wedding Crashers is that quick wit and him just kind of mouthing off and doing all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go with Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn, I'm gonna have to say he was great in this. I love that when he's holding the rings. He's like, I'm still holding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
He's got cigarette while he's coughing it. Still holding. I mean, you could go. I mean, go so many different. I mean, even the I don't know what the big fat kid's name was.
Yeah,
but
I
like
can't
when
remember.
he does the flips and he
Wheezy.
lands it, like
Wheezy, right?
Wheezy, yeah. And he also falls unfortunately, and hits the sewer drain, and the rock goes through, and he gets pulled down. Unfortunately, that's gotta hurt.
This must have been one of I forgot all about him being in it. Hollowitz from Big Bang Theory.
Wolowitz, yeah.
It must have been one of his first appearances
I'm
in a
assuming,
movie.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't have any talk roles, but
A little bit. He talks a little bit. Yeah.
More than
Rob
Choosy Doozy.
Corddry?
Yeah, Rob
Choosy
Corddry.
Doozy was in
Rob
it,
Corddry
yep.
was not.
Yeah,
like,
he didn't have any
not
words.
one word. He was just there for
The
his
second I saw him,
his
I was like,
sex
oh, I
appeal.
forgot he was in this.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome.
He was
man.
there for the sex appeal with his
Yep.
little hair in the front, and he was just there as just because he looked goofy.
Yeah,
kinda,
yeah,
but-
exactly.
He's friends with Luke Wilson. So
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
yeah, it was fun.
And not to take away from anything, Luke Wilson was good in it too.
Oh, I love Luke Wilson because he is the glue that holds the whole thing together.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And it's just around him because he's just the one that's kind of in the center of all this organized chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just he plays it so well, and that's why I like both Luke and Owen
Yeah,
Wilson.
me too,
I think
yeah.
they're a very talented family.
Yep.
They both act. They have very similar acting chops. It's just so funny, so ridiculously funny. I mean, the way that everything gets played at The Godfather, and when he's like, hey, you're The Godfather. He's like, I heard you slept with the boss's daughter. He's like, slaps him. He's like. And it just catches you off guard. It's so funny.
Yeah, he definitely has some good lines in that movie too. And like I said, not to take anything away from him. I mean, he was very good in that movie too.
Everybody in this movie was great. I mean, even like we were talking
Craig
about,
Kilborn was good.
Craig Kilborn was good. Andy Dick was good.
Andy Dick was
that
good,
That scene
yeah.
with all the girls sitting there, and I was like, I pointed out, I was like, how do you get to that casting call?
Yeah.
Like, you need to be a female who won't mind sucking on a vegetable.
I'm here for the audition. All right, here's a cucumber.
Yeah,
Make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, have a little fun with it. See what you got. Couldn't believe that. I was like, oh my god! Like, you gotta imagine being a casting agent in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, who writes up that script? Like, all right, this is what you need. Like, oh seriously, I gotta put this out? Really? I gotta? Can you blow a cucumber? Like, really? How do you go up and ask somebody that? Only Hollywood.
I'm surprised one of us for best scene. We didn't pick the streaking scene. I mean,
That's one of those classics. I mean, everybody.
and everybody knows it. Like,
Everybody. I'm going streaking. Go
to the quad.
Hey, honey. Hey, how's it going? We're all going streaking. They'll catch up. They'll catch up. He's like, it's kind of cold out there, huh, Frank?
You think KFC's still open?
KFC's open. Oh, it's so. That movie is incredibly quotable.
So getting the quotes now. Doug, what is your favorite quote from the movie?
My favorite quote is when Will Ferrell and Jeremy Piven have their little fight, and Will Ferrell says he's like dying, and he's like, "I think I see blue. He's so glorious." And it's so funny to me.
I see the light. I see the light.
When Will Ferrell does like those little voices in movies, it always makes me laugh. I don't know why. It's just something about it. I find it so funny.
Will Ferrell's a goofy bastard. That's why. His floor routine was great too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I stole yours. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did.
Do you have a backup?
No.
I feel bad now. So my quote was pretty much right at the beginning. It was after the whole first scene, and he walks in on his wife, in the gangbang or whatever.
Yeah.
About to do the gangbang.
Yeah.
And they're downstairs, and she's smoking a cigarette, and it's no big deal. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all sexual. It's blah, blah, blah. They're going on, and next thing you know, you hear the doorbell ring. Mm-hmm. He just makes his face like, oh, who is this, right? Mm-hmm. He walks out, and it's Todd Phillips, the director of the movie.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, he's the director of the movie.
I did not know that.
Opens up the door, looks at him. He goes, "I'm here for the gangbang."
He answers the door, and he's like, "Yeah," and Luke's like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "I'm here for the gangbang." End scene. Boom. And Luke was just like, "Oh my god! Like, you gotta be kidding me! Like, seriously, my life is hell right now." All right, so I'm gonna go with my quote, and this is what I got. This is the reintroduction to Frank the Tank.
Okay.
So you have Frank comes on and he says, "I told my wife I wouldn't drink tonight. Besides, I got a big day tomorrow. You guys have a great time." And then the college student, I can't remember what his name is, the kid with the afro. He's like, "Big day? Doing what?" He goes, "Well, actually, it's a pretty nice little Saturday. I'm going to Home Depot. Yeah, buy some wallpaper, maybe some flooring, stuff like that. Maybe Bed Bath and Beyond. Yeah. I don't know if we'll have the time." Like, he's just like such a different person. And he's like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll have one. I'll have one. Let's do it. All right, I'll have one. And then he does it, and he's like, "Woo! Woo! Yes, I'll do it again. I'll do it again, and another one." He's like, "Come on."
When it hits the lips, it tastes so good.
It hits the lips. That is, I'll do the introduction to Frank the Tank.
From the first time I watched this movie until now, I can never listen to "I close my eyes." Never again is it Kansas. It's not Kansas anymore. It's Will Ferrell and Blue, because Blue sings it at the end too.
Yes, he does.
But Will Ferrell kills that song. I actually saw Kansas in concert at the Wolf Den at Mohegan Sun, and they started playing that song, and I'm like, I can't even listen to it. Like, this is not the right version. Like, is this? I thought Will Ferrell was the original singer of this song.
That's right, he is now, bitch. All right, so we're gonna close that off. We're gonna stop right now, and we're gonna give it a rating. So, what's your rating for Old School Chad?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Nice.
8 out of 10.
How about you? How about you, Doug?
Also an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I'm going higher than that. I like this movie a lot. I'm going 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
I really, really enjoy this movie. It is such a classic. I mean, most people think a classic's like 20, 30 years old. I mean, this movie came out about 12 years ago.
Yep.
It is so funny, and that movie is going to live for a long time because it's based off of something like Animal House, college parties kind of stuff. I mean, that never dies.
Yeah.
All right, so the next movie challenge for the movies that hurt so good is we're gonna give one because we have a guest here today. So instead of giving two apiece, we'll give one apiece. We'll start off with Doug. We're gonna work our way back to me.
Oh, nice. So you get to go last.
I get to go. I won, so I get to do whatever the hell I want.
All right. Hey.
All right. So Doug, you go first and see if you can be the first guest to win the movie challenge.
That's a good challenge. So I was trying to think of something that was like a bad movie that I like, I couldn't really come up with anything too good. So I decided to go with a comedy. So it was a tough choice because for a while I was thinking Austin Powers movies because I love those movies.
Austin Powers movies are fantastic.
Yes.
But like, you've seen them a billion times. So I'm going with Hot Rod.
Nice.
Hot Rod.
movie?
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Yes.
I saw that once.
Andy
like,
Samberg.
right when it came out. I mean, that was a long time ago I
Yeah.
saw that. How
That-
long? That was like, what? That's got to be at least 10 years old.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty
definitely-
close to
Yeah,
that.
definitely 10 years old. Yeah.
And that's just like the best PG-13 comedy. So hopefully it wins. It's so funny.
I saw it once,
So funny.
and I remember laughing at it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I never
So,
expected that.
Hot Rod. Me neither.
Yeah,
Hot
that was-
Rod. All
that
right.
was very- that's a good one. Ah, man.
That's going to be a totally refresher for me. 'cause
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in such a long
I
time.
saw it when it first came out,
Yeah, haven't
and
seen
not in
it
the
since.
theaters, but on DVD
Yeah.
release. And
Yeah, me too.
I maybe it wasn't even a DVD. It might have been on HBO or something. I don't know.
Might have been VHS.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, yeah, that was a good choice. Yeah, I like it.
That might have been a Blockbuster rental when I was still around.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, Hollywood Video. I had a
Hollywood-
Hollywood, Video
Hollywood.
next to my house. Yeah.
All right. What are you going to go with?
It was a toss up for me. I'm still kind of deciding in my head. I'm probably gonna talk myself into one of them right now. I was gearing towards Mighty Ducks. Or Mighty Ducks 2, D2. I love them both.
You got to go with the one that's going to give you the victory.
And even though I think the first one was probably the better quality kind of movie, I think D2 was kind of funnier because it had the knuckle puck in it and different. I'm going to go with D2. I talked myself into it.
I've never seen D2.
Never seen D2. Oh, my God. Wow.
I haven't seen any-
USA.
None.
USA.
I've seen, obviously because they're on TV.
Yep.
I've seen like little clips here and there, but I've never seen any of them.
You never seen any of them?
Nope.
D3 wasn't that great, but
Oh, so that's one I should start with.
D1, no, Mighty Ducks 1 was phenomenal. D2 I thought was phenomenal. D3 kind of got a little silly because they were all in prep school together and whatever, but 2 it's a USA movie. I mean, the Olympics, man, come on, they're winning the Olympics.
I didn't know they were in the Olympics.
Yeah,
didn't know
that's D2 right there.
All right.
I'm gonna go with D2.
All right.
I
You go with
mean, if
D2.
I would have known you a little bit of tidbit, I would have went with 1 though, because you should probably watch 1 before you watch
I might try. I
D2.
might try.
I
But,
can't believe you've never seen that.
I'm
Have
not-
you seen them, right?
I haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah,
I've
it's been a
definitely
while.
Seen them.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's probably
worried-
been like 15 years. but
we'll watch it on our own, 1 and 2, because it's
Yeah.
not going to win this week. Because what I'm going to pick is he is a genius of comedy. Such physical genius comedy. Chris Farley
All right.
in Tommy Boy.
All right. That's a good movie.
I
love
am
it.
going with
That is a
Tommy
good
Boy.
movie.
Tommy Boy is the winner. I'm telling you right now. I love that movie so much.
You put your stamp on this one?
That's my wife's favorite comedy.
All right.
She might watch that with us if we do it on a Sunday.
Ah,
Like, she loves that movie.
all right.
Tommy Boy, baby. I love that.
I'm trying to think if I like Tommy Boy but more than I like the Mighty Ducks. I don't know. It's pretty close for me.
Oh.
Like, honestly, that's how much I like the Mighty Ducks, man. Like,
Yeah, but I'm glad that I picked a
no,
movie that's right up your alley.
I do like Tommy Boy.
Tommy
though.
Boy is it's like that's probably his most well-known.
Yes.
I mean, you have Black Sheep,
Yeah.
which you have Beverly Hills Ninja. Beverly Hills Ninja might be my favorite.
Yep.
And then you have what's the other movie? Almost Heroes. With
Almost
him.
Heroes, yeah.
I love that movie too, with him and Matthew Perry. I love that movie. I just love him. He's just comedy gold. I
Yeah.
mean, like Van Down by the River and
Yeah,
Saturday
yeah,
Night
yeah,
Live and all that.
Yeah,
Like,
Saturday
heart
Night
attack.
Live was great with him. Yeah.
Had another heart attack.
Yeah.
He's just awesome. I love that guy. You got to vote for him because he's no longer with us.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. Don't put the shame out there. Come on.
Going for 4, baby.
I'm sure there's somebody in D2 that has died.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez's career. Mr. Mighty Duck himself.
All right, so before we move on to the next topic, I kind of want to get this out of the way. I wanted to do it at the beginning.
All right.
I'm going to kind of tie it in together with you winning. You're taking the lead right now, but
All right.
I do appreciate all the work that you have been doing for this
We did too.
podcast.
Oh, thank you.
And I mean, you've done pretty much all the work. I'm going to say 75% of the work has gone to you. I mean, I just show up and do my little giggle, and
Hey, that giggle is comedy gold.
I've been getting the guests on the show, and but you've been doing all the work with the grunt work, I call it. The editing, the everything. So I was at the comic book store the other day, and I know you love Ultron.
I do.
So
Big fan.
And I've noticed that out of all these little action figure toys, are they toys? Toys, yeah.
If you want to call them, I play with
Dolls.
them from time to time.
Dolls.
So. I have a son, so
Do you
I play
take
with
them in your bathtub with you and have little wars and
Are
stuff?
you kidding me? That would ruin their value.
All right, so I did buy you a little something, so we can put it on the table.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna bring out mine
Excited.
first. I'm gonna bring out mine first.
Whew.
Mine is I bought myself a little
Bobblehead, huh?
Kind of opened it a little bit so it's
Yeah,
easier.
I'll get a close up on you there.
Right here. It's Jigsaw.
That's nice. That's
Cool.
really good. I like that. That's
Yes,
cool.
It's awesome. It is so cool. So I bought that. It's not a bobblehead, but
Oh, it's not?
no, that one's not.
Nah, it's one of the pop figures.
That looks good though.
One
That's
of the
good.
pop figures. I
That's
kind of
cool.
opened yours too, so it was easier to open, so you can take it out. But here's yours. It's a little Ultron. I saw it instantly thought of you, and
That is sweet.
that is they were pretty cool. I mean, there's a bunch of them in the series, but I figured you would love the Ultron one.
Look at that, huh? Little Ultron bobblehead here. That's a nice bobble too.
Yeah, it's a very nice bobble.
That's some nice bobble action. I like
That way, when I shake the table, you can hear instead of him falling over, it'd just be him shaking.
I don't know. He might fall. I mean, you do hump the table pretty good. I'll put him right in front of Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, you could put a little Jigsaw up there too.
Yeah. You could probably balance him almost on your Duff beer can.
That's true. Yeah.
Will he stay?
No, probably not.
No. You get all frisky with that table and everything starts
me and my
falling over.
table.
Thank you very much. That
Yes.
was very nice. I appreciate that.
No problem.
That's a good addition to the collection that I have.
And for
here.
any of you viewers out there that want to send us gifts for our table, take donations all the time.
Ideas or anything. I mean, I'm actually going to try and set up the cameras sometime soon, so you can get a better look at the table. I have some Aquaman characters, a little Star-Lord, a RoboCop, all that kind of stuff sitting up here. Chad's building on his.
Mine's building.
He's building on his a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to do now is, before we go into our next segment, I said I was going to give away a movie ticket.
yeah, yep.
I want to give away one movie ticket to one of the people that asked us a question on the last show. So what I'm going to do is we wrote down the names. It was Elizabeth Reed, Bill Pia, and Brad Neff who had the questions. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them in a hat, a really huge
Big hat. I ate a sundae out of this hat.
And Chad's gonna mix them up real nice, and then we're gonna have our guest pick the name out of the hat and read the name. So
we go.
let's see what we got here. Let's
Pick
go.
one and
Drum
only
roll.
one. It's like I feel like
make
I'm,
sure it was only one.
I'm at the Academy Awards right now.
Huh? And the winner.
And the winner is
Bill Pia.
Bill Pia.
Pia gets
First
a free-
prize.
Bill Pia gets a free. Humping the table, man.
I got excited when I heard Bill Pia.
Knocking over all my characters. So Bill Pia wins a free Regal Cinema movie ticket. We'll get in contact on Facebook. I'll mail it out to you probably at the end of this week. So we'll have that, and we're going to be giving away another one because we had 5 questions come in this week, and we will be giving another movie ticket away from the Cinefans that we had out there.
Cinefans.
The Cinefans, the Cinepublic, whatever you want to call them. The Cinemaniacs. So
Cinemaniacs.
what we'll do is I'll give another one a little bit later when we do we read off those questions.
Congratulations,
All right.
Bill.
Yeah, congratulations. So we're gonna move on to the next segment. The next segment is new news. New news. That was terrible. What new news is we discussed some of the new news that came out over the last couple of weeks. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is Kevin Feige confirmed in an interview with Collider that when Spider-Man is introduced in Captain America: Civil War, which I'm still not sure that's where he's going to be introduced. There he might be in. He might be in at like the first, because I know that Avengers movie they're not going to do a post-credit scene like after the credits, but they will do a scene right after the movie's over. They always do it. They're going to do it. I've heard there is in there, so he might make an appearance in there. Maybe just his face. I don't know. We'll see. That's my little speculation there. And when Spider-Man is introduced in Captain America: Civil War, he will be Peter Parker. He's also said that the estimate age for Peter Parker would be around 15 to 16 years old. Feige feels that although there has been 5 movies, they still haven't even scratched the surface on stories to tell about Spider-Man, especially in his high school years. What are your thoughts on this news? I'll start off with Doug because I know Chad's going to want to gain his thoughts a little bit. He doesn't know a lot about Spider-Man.
I don't
Have you
know
seen any of them?
I don't know anything about this.
You haven't seen any of the Spider-Mans
No.
at all? Well, I want you to talk about it a little bit. I mean, Kevin Feige is the mastermind of all the cinematic gold that Marvel has produced.
Okay.
He is the guy that's behind the scenes. He is the one that's putting everything out there. He is the head honcho. He's the guy that all these directors report to.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thoughts on having it be Peter Parker and setting him being a little bit younger of a character? Not because all these other ones, he was always graduating high school and going into college or something along those lines.
I actually love it. I in my opinion, it had to be Peter Parker because I know there's Miles Morales. I'm not going to get big into it, but I don't think he can be introduced without Peter Parker.
Right.
But I think it's great that he's younger because Peter Parker in the comic books, he's always been, when he first started out as Spider-Man, was always a young guy.
Yeah, high school.
So I think it's perfect that he should be a much younger actor. And they should stick with him in high school for a while, in my opinion. But they'll do what they want. And then as for, like, not scratching the surface with anything, I agree with that because Green Goblin has technically been in 4 of them. Like, Willem Dafoe was in all of the first 3 Spider-Man.
Yep.
So, like, they really like to reuse villains, in my opinion. And there's so many great Spider-Man villains that haven't been used yet. And then...
And they really messed up
Yeah,
the Rhino.
so many that were
They
improper.
messed up the Rhino, the Electro. It got too cartoony.
He could have been good. He was just so bad at the start.
And just to play off that, who is the villain that you want to see?
Craven the Hunter is a big
No,
villain
that's
for
a
me.
big villain for Spider-Man too. The villain I want to see is Carnage. I want to see Carnage
I would like to
because
see Carnage,
that is the more deadly version of Venom. Like
Yeah.
he is just the absolute insane. He's a murderer. Like this guy was a murderer. He is in jail. And now he gets that, what is it called?
Symbiote.
The symbiote. The symbiote. He gets the symbiote and now he's just taking that to another level.
Yeah.
I've always loved that character. Because it's just evil villains make superhero movies.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked William Dafoe.
Yeah. I love
Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe. I loved him in all those because he had that crazy in him. Like he just has that. And I liked him in that role. I mean, his suit was a little goofy, but it played well
That's
in the
my
movie.
biggest complaint. He had the perfect goblin face, and they didn't use it. But
So, I mean, it was good, and I really enjoyed that. So, do you have anything to say about this at all?
No, nothing intelligent. I mean,
Spit off something not so intelligent.
no.
we'll work
I don't
with
know. I don't know the difference between the Spider-Man. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you if it was Peter Parker.
Have you seen any of them?
No,
Spider-Man?
I've never seen any of them. I have no desire to see Spider-Man. I don't think. I want to see. I want to see the Avengers.
Comic book
Yeah.
heroes
I
of
want to
all
see the
time.
Avengers and all that, but I don't think. Kind of like Batman, where I watched Batman and wasn't into it. I think Spider-Man would be the same thing. Like,
But Spider-Man, depending. I mean, if you go with the Tobey Maguire route, it's not. He doesn't have as much of that nervous energy. He's more excited when he's doing all this, like flipping around, going through the city, and all that kind of stuff. But when you get Andrew Garfield, you might like Andrew Garfield because he has that kind of nervous energy where he's just kind of spouting off at the mouth, which also kind of gets in the heads of the villains that he's kind of going after. So you're not only dealing with this person who has these superhuman capabilities, but you're also dealing with somebody who's everybody knows those people that just talk
Yeah.
and like all the time and kind of get you and get in your head and you're just like, oh my god, please just shut up. And that's what these villains kind of feel like because he just keeps talking to them the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. It's like such a
he's just like making fun of these guys.
Yeah,
and they're
as
just
he's
getting
going.
so mad.
and they're
Like,
getting so mad because they
picked
can't
on by
catch
this
them
guy.
and it's just it's very frustrating for the villains and it's awesome.
I was told that like this. I don't know which one. Maybe the Tobey Maguire one isn't it more like a love story? Like,
There
isn't there a
is.
big
I mean,
love story scene? Like,
you have the love stories involved.
Yeah, it's a big
I mean,
part. Yeah,
I mean,
of both.
Yeah, Mary Jane and Peter Parker, they have a love story and Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff. And it is, but it's not the main part. It's just kind of the secondary plot. Your main plot is Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I mean, that's and going after the villains. I mean, the second one was probably the best of that trilogy. And that's with Doc Ock and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was very well done. The third one was probably the weakest, but it's still entertaining in my mind. I think it's still entertaining. I mean, a lot of like when the way they used the Venom and stuff like that was a little cheesy. They had they could have done some things better.
Yeah, there's
But-
a lot of bad scenes in what could have been a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, the Sandman. I thought the Sandman was actually pretty cool. He
looked
but
awesome.
He looked awesome. Yeah, and it was a great, perfect character for
Yeah.
him too. But overall, it was okay movie. It wasn't terrible. But the first one was very good. Great introduction to Peter Parker. You get the origin story. Second one, you have it's just like action. A lot of good fights with Doc Ock and watching Dr. Octavius kind of lose his mind and
Yeah.
getting into this. It was really well done. My whole feeling with this news and Kevin Feige is I'm glad, because one of the things that he said in this, which I didn't mention in this comment, was that he said there's not going to be an origin story. This is just they're probably going to do what they did with the Hulk, which was in the first 90 seconds of the 90 seconds, 2 minutes or so in the movie, they'll throw a bunch of clips out there and all that kind of stuff to kind of give you an idea of why he is what he is. That's what they're going to do. They're going to kind of give it to you right there, and they're not going to explain it, but he's already going to be Spider-Man. You're not going to see the spider bite. You're not going to see all this kind of... You might get some flashbacks throughout the movie or something like that, but it's not going to be an origin story, which I like. I think that now it gives you more time to just give you Spider-Man,
Yeah.
which is what you got and why the second was better than the first one. I do like seeing the transformation, but I think it's better in this way because we've seen it too many times.
Need it a third time.
Yeah, we've seen it too many times, and we just saw it just a few years ago. We saw another origin story,
Yeah.
so this is great. Great news on all fronts. All right, the next one is up. I think Chad might be a little happy about this one because he likes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It has been confirmed that Stephen Amell is going to be donning the hockey mask, baseball bat, golf clubs, and other assorted athletic equipment in the upcoming TMNT Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. We finally have our Casey Jones. Are you excited for Stephen Amell to play Casey Jones? I'll start off with Chad.
Now, he's the guy from Arrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know much about Arrow, but he's like a vigilante too, right?
He is a vigilante, yes.
So it's kind of this. I think it's very similar roles. I mean, Casey Jones was a vigilante, fighting on the good side, but he was kind of a bad character at the same time.
Yes.
I think it's a good move. I mean, I don't know that much about him. I couldn't tell you how his acting is or anything like that. I'm just more excited that they actually got somebody for Casey Jones and guaranteeing that Casey Jones is going to be in the movie. I think that's a good move to bring him back, and with Bebop and Rocksteady coming back, and
Yeah.
it's gonna. I think this movie, the new one's going to be a lot better than the old one.
I hope so.
I say the old one, but the last
one
one,
that came out last year.
the last old new one or whatever.
The last old new one.
I just don't. I just don't.
Chadwickism. The
Yeah.
last old new one.
I just don't know how it could get any worse than the last one. So, I
I enjoyed the last one personally.
Did
yeah,
you?
I
So
didn't think it was
what
bad.
about you? What do you feel about
I'm
this?
a big Arrow fan, so I know a lot about Stephen Amell, and it's kind of weird because Casey Jones, he's very much that cocky, like he will make fun of the people he's beating up
Right.
while he's beating them
Yeah.
up. So that's very much how Green Arrow is in the comic books.
But he's
On
not like
Arrow,
that. Yeah,
he's
he's not
nothing
like that.
He's more like Batman than
Yes,
anything.
yeah.
And so I like Stephen Amell as an actor. I just don't. I haven't seen him act like that before.
Right.
So I don't.
So you're a little
really
nervous.
know. A little nervous. Plus, I don't think him with long hair. I just don't see him as
Yeah.
Casey Jones.
Yeah, I mean his brother has the dark hair. I mean, because Casey Jones does have dark hair. I mean, if I remember correctly. For me, I mean, what I think about this is I do like the casting. I think because you have a guy who has proven that he can do all the stunt work, and be that guy who can go in and kick some ass, which is great, and I think that's awesome as that part. I am a little nervous as well as about the witty banter and stuff like that but I think that he's shown that he can act. I mean, he can act. We haven't seen him like that. I have faith that they'll be able to do it. I'm a little more nervous because of the producers that are involved, like Michael Bay and all that kind of stuff, and the direction that the last one took. I'm a little nervous. I'm not as sold as I would be if, like, say, Bryan Singer was announcing the cast, or if, like, Kevin Feige was announcing the cast. Those are, like, more credible. But I do like the casting. The one downside, I think this is unfortunate for Stephen Amell, because he's on a TV show where he is this vigilante, and he's kind of in the shadows and dark and kind of going after guys. And he's going to go into a movie. He's going to play the same character almost, and he might get typecasted.
Yeah, he's gonna.
And if you get typecasted this early, and because as it is, being on TV, I mean, you're getting a TV show every week. I mean, you're getting like 20 something episodes a year, and this is 3rd season, and this is gonna go to season 4. So I mean, now you're talking about, you've seen him for, at the end of season 3, you'll have seen him for like 70 hours of time as the Arrow, and now you're gonna see him for on this. It's just gonna be like Stephen Amell is, unless they can do something to kind of not make him look similar.
Yeah.
You know, by giving him long hair, maybe a couple of scars or something like that. But that's the only thing I'm really nervous for. It's just more of Stephen Amell's career.
Yeah.
Because I do like him a lot. I think he's a really genuine guy. He actually does a lot of promotion for like cancer and stuff like that. I have one of his Sinceriously shirts upstairs and stuff like that. Like, I love him. I love the show. And I'm just a little more worried for him than I am for the movie itself. Because in my opinion, you can only really go up from there. I think I might have rated that in a negative review. I think I might have given it like a 5.5 or something like that, because it was entertaining, but I didn't think it was good enough for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. And this one, I really feel like you can only go up. So hopefully the addition of Casey Jones will help.
Yeah, I think it will.
Next question up is Furious 7 has been breaking records like crazy. Ooh. With an opening weekend of $147 million, then it follows that up with a $60 million second weekend, which are both very impressive. Now, this is the big thing. Yeah. The worldwide total for Furious 7 is up to a whopping $800 million in 2 weeks. Do you think they should end the franchise on a high note? This is your own personal opinion, not whether you think the studio is going to do it. Do you think personally that they should end on a high note or keep plugging along until the well runs dry? I'll start off with Chad because I know he really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I don't think they should stop. I mean, why? You're still making money. You're still making good movies. I mean, I myself, I loved all of them. I know Tokyo Drift is like one of those movies where a lot of people think they fucked up and just kind of ruined the franchise at that point. But they gained their composure back, and they came back strong with 4 was decent, and I thought 5 and 6 were awesome, and then 7 I think blew the other ones away. Like 7 was awesome.
So if you had to rate Furious 7 out of 10, what would you give that? Because we just saw you saw
I gave it
twice, right?
Yeah, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah, it was. A lot of people, what their gripes with that movie was it was too unbelievable. Like the stunts that they were doing, like that's what I've been hearing from a lot of people is, you know, there's stunts that you can't jump cars over buildings and through buildings and stuff like that. It's a movie, you know. You're going there to get entertained. You're there to have fun. Just enjoy it. Like that's the way I look at it, and I don't think they should stop. Keep on going.
Personally, you don't think they should stop?
No, they shouldn't stop. They should keep on going.
Keep going until the well runs dry.
I don't think the well will run dry. I mean, I think people are going to still go to this movie.
I disagree with you on that. But
I mean, eventually, like if they get to 20, yes. I mean, but they.
I think you'll see a big drop.
You got two. You get two. Well, I think they will too because of the fact that Paul Walker died.
Right.
I think that has a lot to do. I don't think it has like more. I don't think it has as much.
Well, I know some people. I know some people
think.
that actually went back to see it a second time, just for the Paul Walker tribute at the end.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those people. But what about you, Doug? What do you think? Do you think they should keep going?
I actually haven't seen this Fast and Furious, but I do like Fast and Furious a lot. No, I don't think they should continue it. I think they should do more like a spin-off kind of thing because The Rock's character is awesome.
Yeah.
Luke Hobbs, I think is his name.
They're actually talking about doing a spin-off.
Yeah, and I think that's how they should continue it because you could always bring in Vin Diesel and all them into the movies at any point.
And they could be more the side characters.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a Fast and the Furious.
I like that. I like that a lot.
The series should end here. Yeah. I mean, they lost one of their main actors, and it's very unfortunate. But like, this should be his send off. And
I like that. I like the spin-off side because I mean, that could work really well. I mean, The Rock is an awesome character.
Yeah.
My problem, do I think they should keep going on? No, I don't think they should keep going on. I think that this movie, for me, it took 2 steps back. I started with 4. And was introduced. I was introduced originally to the first one. I ended up hating. I didn't like it at all. So I gave up on it right then and there. They made a couple more, and Too Fast, Too Furious was like one of the worst rated ones out of all of them. And then Tokyo Drift was also not rated well. So I was just kind of like, the franchise is dead. But then they reinvented themselves. 4, they kind of went more of the, kind of believable kind of route and like kind of getting a little bit further away from like the drag racing and all that kind of stuff. And then 5, The Rock comes on the scene, and now he's hunting down these guys, and now it's like entertainment.
Yeah.
And obviously these movies aren't believable.
Yeah.
But that storyline brought you into the movie and sucked you in, and it made it feel like a good movie. 6 for me did the same thing, and it was like on this upward trajectory of like, all right, they found their niche, they found their direction, they found how they're going to do this and do it well. And then 7 came along, and I felt like it was so incredibly over the top. Like the director was like, screw you and the dialogue. Like, we're done with dialogue. We're going to give you one-liners here and there where like, there was probably about like 5 times you could count 5 times where an actor would start saying his lines. He would say a sentence, stop, pause for like 5 seconds, and then deliver the next line. I'm like, can none of these actors remember their lines? Is that this is how they want it to shot? Because it was just like, well, are you gonna say something? Like, go, come on. Like, and it was just like, and it was so aggravating. And then on top of that, like, they had the acting in it was so horrendous.
It always is.
No. The other ones at least kind of made you believe that they were in the movie. Like, this is how things are going. Like, even the way they like Vin Diesel, the whole movie was just like one-liners of like, that's how it is. Like, and that, like, that's family. And that's it. The whole movie. He like never had any dialogue.
That's how he is on all of them.
But
Vin Diesel's a terrible actor.
He's not a terrible actor. I disagree. I disagree.
I
100%.
completely disagree with that.
I don't think
he's a good actor at
I
all.
think he's a decent actor. I don't think he's good, but I think he's a decent actor. And in this movie, he looks horrible. Paul Walker looked horrible in this movie as an actor. Everybody except for Jason Statham was great in this movie. Kurt Russell, great cameo appearance.
I loved him in that movie.
Awesome in this movie. But and their best moneymaker, The Rock, in the movie for 15 minutes.
Spoiler alert.
It's not a spoiler alert. I'm warning you. If you're going to see The Rock, you are going to be let down. Like, that is it. So
He was in more than 15 minutes.
No, he was not. He was in there for like the first 7-minute scene, and then they showed him again for another 2-minute scene in the hospital, and then they showed him again at the end for another 5-minute scene. That's it. The whole movie. That's all he's in the movie. And he was awesome in the movie. He's another one that was great. And that's the thing, is that in this movie, like, the acting was so terrible, the dialogue was so terrible, the stunts, because the acting and the dialogue was so bad and the story was so confused, it made me get upset. And then I got pulled out of the film, and I'm noticing all these things, and now the stunts look stupid. Like, it's like, okay, you want to do the trailer. You have the trailer where you have them dropping out of the plane, right?
Yep.
Dropping out of the plane in the trailer. And they come down. I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's all right. Yeah, great. Great. That's awesome. And then they take it up another notch. It's like the next time they do a movie, like, they're going to have to go the Sharknado route and say, fuck everybody. Screw you. We're not going to even, anything we say, it's just going to be dobbity-doo. It's going to be like fucking Adam Sandler talking, the whole damn movie. And then after that, it's going to be like riding sharks in the ocean, jumping over cars. Like, that's what it's going to be like the next time. It's so freaking ridiculous. So, and, I'm getting so worked up about this, but
wow.
the biggest
got the
thing
Sharknado to deal with.
Yes, the entertainment value was there. So I will say that this movie, I did rate it. I rated it a 6 out of 10. I gave it a positive review because it was entertaining, but I felt like it was so dumb. Like, it just really got me angry, obviously.
Obviously.
So I think that they should end on a financial high note. I agree with you 100%. Spin it off. One of their best characters is The Rock, and he actually can deliver lines and do them well. So I want to have him spin off, and that's where they should go. All right, so let's move on to the next one, so I can get a little breath.
Jeez, glad you went last. I think you did that on purpose.
So several days ago, we get concept art from Bryan Singer that Archangel will be in Apocalypse. That's X-Men Apocalypse. And last night, we get a photo of Olivia Munn on Singer's Instagram account. Why? Because she is going to be playing Psylocke. in the X-Men Apocalypse movie. What are your thoughts on Munn joining the mutants? I'm gonna go with you, Chad, because you look really excited about it.
I've seen X-Men, the first one, and that was the only one I've ever seen. I don't know who Psylocke is. Psylocke, yeah, I don't know. Let's see, I don't even know how to say her name.
She's got like
she's psychic, but she makes like weapons out of her psychic
Yeah.
powers,
Alright,
like
that's cool.
swords and stuff.
I have no input on it. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I don't like before. Nothing intelligent.
she's a cool character. I
Yeah.
mean, she's a really cool character. I mean, what do you think about it?
She's a big fan favorite character. So Olivia Munn, she can either do really great at acting, like on what's that show, The Newsroom. She does really good in that. Everything else, she does awful.
Yeah, she was in Mordecai. She's a pretty face.
Yeah, she's very attractive.
She's an attractive
I
girl.
liked her in Newsroom.
I'm hoping that they do what they do with a lot of the other mutants, and they focus on the main characters. And Psylocke will have maybe a couple of lines here and there.
I'm expecting like a Quicksilver kind of thing, where she has one really cool action scene. She kind of plays a role in the movie, but
Yeah.
she has that one really cool action scene. Where
That would be really cool. I mean, I enjoy. I would like to have her be like kind of a secondary character. Like that's kind of like almost like a throwaway, not really, because Quicksilver stole the last movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think that her character can do that just because I don't know if I could believe her doing that. Like, and that's what you need out of your actors.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I just don't know about her chops. Like her acting chops are a little lacking. But she's a pretty face, so that will help. Because it'll get people to the theater a little bit. I mean, actors don't really drive people out so much anymore, but I'm okay with it. I'm like, I trust Bryan Singer is mainly what it comes down to, so that's why I'm buying it. So the next segment we're gonna go into is called Rumor Town, and it's like, din, 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 din. Won't you take me to Rumor Town? Won't you take me to Rumor Town?
Can't get on board with that one. Every other time I'm on board, I'm not on board with that one.
So
I'll have to
you're-
come up with
you're
a different
out on
jingle.
Rumor Town?
Yeah, I'm out on that jingle.
This is the segment where we talk about a few of the rumors that are floating around the web. The Hollywood Reporter came out and said that James Wan is apparently the front runner to direct the Aquaman movie, which comes out in July 27th, 2018. Quite a few years away. Thoughts on Wan possibly taking on the King of Atlantis? My man.
I like James Wan a lot. Obviously, he directed the Saw movies, a couple of them. He did Insidious. Insidious.
He's very well rounded.
Yeah. Well, he does most of the horror. His main focus is horror until he jumped into Fast and Furious 7. And I was worried about that at first. I'm like, oh man, this guy, he's done Saw, he's done Insidious, he did Death Sentence was a good movie too that he did. And I was a little nervous at first, but then when I saw Furious 7, all right, this guy can do it. I mean, and I don't know how action-packed Aquaman is, but I mean, I wouldn't be worried about him doing an action movie. I mean, he has a lot on his table still. I mean, he's in the process of writing a new Saw movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he just finished up The Conjuring 2. He hasn't really done any bad movies. Every movie that I've seen that he's written and directed have been good. So
okay, so
I like it.
Yeah, you like the rumor.
Yeah, I like that rumor.
All right, cool. What about you, Doug?
He sets a good tone with his movies. His movies, they could be awful acting, like some of the Saws have some pretty bad acting. But the tone is always on point. You're always on the edge of your seat with those type of movies.
Well, I mean, the good thing with the Saw movies is that in a lot of horror movies, you don't get a lot of A-class actors.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wouldn't consider Jason Momoa an A-class actor right now, but I do think that he has chops. So
I mean, he only directed the one Saw,
right?
The first
which
Saw.
is awesome.
He
But
wrote
still, that's what
he
I'm
wrote
saying.
1 and 3.
He did the. I have a list here. He did Saw, The Conjuring, Insidious, and he did the Furious 7 movie for the directing, all that kind of stuff. Obviously you have heard my thoughts about Furious 7, and that it just makes me a little nervous if that's the case. That the way they're looking, I think he'll do the action and all that kind of stuff. I'm hoping that with a better cast, you'll get better acting and a better. And he's. I don't think he's I don't think he'll be writing the script.
I don't think he's writing it.
So they're doing a pretty good job with finding some writers for it. So that will help. And like you said, you're on board with his tone. I think his tone for Saw was amazing. I haven't seen Insidious. I haven't seen The Conjuring. I think the tone set for Furious 7 was okay. Some of the shots, and I don't blame it on him so much as the actors, but he is responsible for the actors.
Yeah.
So I'm a little on the fence with that rumor. I'm a little nervous with it.
Kind of on the fence, kind of.
Plus, he has like the best part about it is that Aquaman, like, most people outside of like comic books don't really know about Aquaman.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of free range to not change the character, but he can go to a lot of places.
They're going to make this guy. They're going to get him like kind of like the Aquaman 52 series.
Yeah.
Which will be good. So the next rumor up is this rumor started on a show that is hosted by Jeff Snyder and Mark Riley called Meet the Movie Press. The rumor was about the involvement of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the directors of the Lego Movie. They're going to be doing Warner Brothers movie with the Fastest Man Alive, The Flash. That's the rumors that they're going to be tied in. This is the quote. After building the Lego Movie franchise, the Warner Brothers, Phil Lord, and Christopher Miller have come on board the studio's superhero movie, The Flash. Multiple individuals familiar with the project have told The Wrap. So it's not official. It's a lot of individuals saying that they're involved. How do you feel about, we'll go down the road again. How do you feel about these two characters taking on the Fastest Man Alive?
I love the Lego Movie. And I mean, the Lego Movie, they work well together, obviously.
Do you know anything about The Flash?
No. The only thing I know about The Flash is from The Big Bang Theory. And that's the same thing with Aquaman. I wouldn't even know what Aquaman looked like unless Big Bang Theory didn't show it.
He's right here.
Yeah, he's right in front of me. Yeah, but
the movie one looks very different from
yeah.
that.
Yes.
I don't know. I know vaguely about him. I know what he's about. I mean, obviously,
he's fast.
Very fast. Yeah.
Kind of fast.
Now, my whole question about it says Warner Brothers. It's a Warner Brothers movie, right?
Yeah.
Is that included in the Marvel DC kind of thing?
Yep.
Or
Warner Brothers does all the DC stuff.
all the DC stuff. Yeah. I mean, I like them. So I don't see a problem with them doing another movie together. I mean, I don't know if they always work together, but
They are kind of a directing duo.
Yeah.
They work together. I don't know if they have any that are separate from each other.
Yeah,
any directing credits separate from each other.
do they
I'm
have
not sure.
anything after the Lego movie or?
Well,
recent?
they're also tied in to do like the Ghostbuster stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like they're kind of overseeing. I think it's them that are overseeing the Ghostbuster franchise.
Yeah.
It's Sony.
So yeah, I'm in. I mean, I might even actually see it because I do like the Lego movie. I mean,
So what about you, Doug? What do you think about it?
I like it. I really enjoyed the Lego Movie. It was one of those movies that when I went to go see it, I was like, oh, this movie's probably going to be stupid for kids. And then it turned out to be really good.
yeah.
And it doesn't have the same tone as Flash, but the humor and stuff would... I think they suit Flash. I think if they, with what they're going for, with what they're writing about, they fit. They can really write the story that they need to. Like, they took Legos and made you care about Legos.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
So I really think that they could take this superhero, this character that's very likable, because he's kind of like DC's version of Spider-Man. Not exactly, not powers-wise, but like personality-wise. He's very like making fun of his opponents and making them mad.
He's a jokester.
Yeah.
He's a jokester.
And I think that they could do that perfectly, because I actually wanted these guys to make Spider-Man, but that's another story. But yeah, I think they'd be perfect for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board, and this I correct myself. These aren't the guys that are doing the Sony with the Ghostbusters. That was the other directing duo that did the Captain America Winter Soldier. This is the couple that did 22 Jump Street, not 21. And then they also did the Lego Movie. Obviously, they're going to be like producing a lot of the Lego movies. As far as the Flash goes, I think that this group is perfect for that movie. They could write and direct. That I'd be even more on board. The only issue with is I know that DC came out several months ago and said, kind of to go against like the MCU, the Marvel universe, saying how Marvel does jokes and all that kind of stuff. DC said like, we're not going to be doing any jokes. Like, we are jokeless. We have no joke policy here. Which I don't think is the truth, because even in the Batman movies, you got some little liners here and there that were kind of funny. Never in the middle of battles, but like you got some funny aspects, and I think that you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that in DC a little bit. It won't be as joke heavy as the
Yeah.
Avengers, but I think that Flash kind of needs to be a little more lighthearted. I mean, he has a very dark kind of backstory. I mean, like his mother was killed. He's got a lot of issues. I love the TV show. Do you watch the TV show, The Flash?
It's fantastic.
It's great. Started off with a bang. I mean and it's just
It's
like
kept
adding
the momentum,
it-
which is funny because it's the Flash.
I know,
but-
and yeah, exactly. That's actually good. The movie just keeps adding villain after villain after villain after villain, and it's like every villain is like another step up, and it's just like when are they going to stop? And now they're going to be doing another crossover, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's so great. But so I'm totally on board with this. Like I like it. The only thing that I get a little nervous about is just DC's no joke policy, and then them coming in, and they have done, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs,
Yeah,
and Lego,
their
and
movies are jokey.
all these movies, 22 Jump Street, very joke heavy.
Yeah.
How are they going to incorporate? How are they going to meld together? That's the only nervousness I have. Nervousness. That's the only thing I'm nervous about.
The other big thing about it that I have towards them is that in the Lego movie they dealt with different universes and stuff. So I think dealing with the time travel and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for
if they bring
Flash,
that in, yeah.
because that's big for Flash. He's like the main guy that does time travel in the DC
I wonder.
universe.
I haven't looked into it too much. I wonder if they're going to do an origin story with him. I mean, they don't need to, but they could.
He'd probably be the easiest character to do it with, actually, because you could do the whole time travel angle. Because
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure it goes Batman vs Superman, and then it's Justice League right
Yes.
after that. So most of the characters are going to be established. So
Next on our list is Ernie Hudson. The one of the Ghostbusters that everybody forgets about. Ernie Hudson is being rumored for the role of King T'Chaka in the Black Panther world. We know that the Black Panther movie is coming out in 2018, and Chadwick Boseman will debut as the character in Captain America: Civil War. With production on the film set to begin in April, the Latino Review is hearing from sources that Hudson has been spotted hitting the gym and reading up on his Black Panther back issues. What do you think about Ernie Hudson? We're going right to you again.
Oh,
We're
we're
going
going straight to me.
Yeah.
He was good in Ghostbusters. I mean,
Like 7 lines.
I don't know the whole role of King Chakata.
that's a big Twinkie. Is that his line?
You just said Chakata?
Chakata. Whatever his name is. I don't know much about Black Panther. I do like Chadwick Boseman though. I mean, Boseman.
Yeah.
I do like him.
Because his name's Chadwick.
No, I liked him in 42, and I liked him in Get Up on It.
Get on up.
Both really good roles. I mean, as far as Ernie Hudson goes, though, I mean, yeah, why not?
Could take it or leave it.
Could take it or leave it. Yeah, I'm probably
It's going to be a smaller role, but yeah.
I mean, I'll probably watch the movie, but I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be a memorable role for me or not. But
No, I mean, he's going to have kind of a similar role. I think he's going to have kind of a similar role like Thor's father.
Odin.
Yes, but what's the actor?
Oh, Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins, yes. I was like, I wanted to be like Hannibal. What do you think about Ernie Hudson?
I mean, I don't really know. Like, I've only seen him in Ghostbusters, I think. Like, so.
Yeah, he's been around, but he has never gotten to a franchise like
Yeah,
that.
he's never been a big and well-known actor. I don't care because I also think T'Chaka's not going to have a big role in the movies. But
Yeah, my guess is he'll have like
considering
a
that
handful of lines.
it's like a passed down sort of thing. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have to die pretty early in the movie for Black Panther to even exist.
yeah.
Especially if he's going to be in Civil War already. But
They might have flashbacks or something
Yeah.
too. So
I would like someone I don't know someone that seems a bit more.
well, the other rumor a while back
Powerful.
was Denzel.
Yeah, like Denzel Washington will be good. The actor I would love for it to be, but they already used him in Guardians of the Galaxy, is Digimon.
Oh, yeah.
Busan, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he was in Furious 7.
Yeah. Because
who was he in Fear 7?
He was the bad guy that was going after the God's Eye.
Okay, all right.
he is just like a threatening dude. Like I know in real life he's like the nicest guy. Like I read interviews about him all the time.
Yeah.
But like in movies he can be really.
He's
threatening.
very intimidating.
And that's what I would want from a T'Chaka. I would want him to seem like a leader that if
I
worst
could
came to
see
worst,
that. Yeah,
he would have to do what.
I like that. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that guy for the King. As far as Ernie Hudson goes, I'm okay with it as long as he doesn't have a lot of lines. I don't want a lot of flashback scenes with him because I just don't know if he can do it. He was actually in the TV show that I loved to watch for several seasons, which was Franklin and Bash. He had actually played the judge, and they actually did this whole like Ghostbuster theme kind of, where it was kind of a tongue in cheek a little bit. They did like there was a ghost in a house, and they brought the whole courtroom to the house with the ghost. So it was clever. But I like Ernie Hudson. I think that he can have that stern kind of face tone. I just don't know how well he can pull it off. He's probably one of the people that's up for the role. Denzel, I wouldn't want Denzel Washington in it. I think he's too recognizable of a face, and I think that he just, whenever you see him, you think of that smile. Like he has that like happy-go-lucky like smile, like it just lights up a room. He's just like that kind of character, and I don't want that from King T'Chaka. I want him to be, like you said, like intimidating.
He was kind of intimidating in Training Day.
He is, but he has that.
No, but I know what you mean. If he does the smile in any scene, you're instantly taken out of it.
I mean, he's like, even in Training Day, he's kind of, going off. Is it Ethan Hawke that's in that movie with him? Yeah. He's kind of like going off him. He's like, and he kind of even, has that kind of sly, kind of sarcasm
swagger,
a little bit. He's got the swagger to him. And I don't want to see that from him. I want to see a guy who's just like a force. Like Anthony Hopkins as Odin. He's a force. And when he, was mad, and he's like, you were like, this guy's serious. Like he's for real. So I would like somebody more of that caliber. Someone a little more intimidating, but I'd be okay with it. All right, the next segment up is In or Out of the Trailer Park, the movie Trailer Park. This is where we're going to quickly talk about the trailer and then say if you are in or out. Everyone loves a good movie trailer. Well, here is where we talk about some of the trailers that came out recently. April 7th, we had the trailer for the second trailer for Straight Outta Compton. This is the first official trailer. I guess the other one was like a teaser. This one came out and gave us a smidge more dialogue. The synopsis is: the group NWA emerges from the streets of Compton, California in the mid-1980s and revolutionizes the pop culture with their music and tales about life in the hood. Are you in or out based off the trailer? Chadwick Davis.
In. I saw it I actually saw it on the big screen in IMAX on with Furious 7, and I loved it on the big screen. Like the picture, the clearness of it. I loved the music in it. I was never a big NWA fan, but
me neither.
I mean, I like Ice Cube. I love everybody in it. I mean, it was a little bit before my time, but the movie looks awesome to me. I'm totally in.
Awesome. How about you? Have you?
I gotta say I'm out. It looked good, but it's not a movie I'm going to go out and see.
It's not.
If someone was like, "You got to watch this movie. Let's just hang out and watch this," I would watch it. But it's not. It's not something I'm going to go out of my way to see.
Is it the biopic kind of?
Yeah, I've
feel
never
to
cared
it?
for that, and it's just I don't know.
All right. Well, for me, I'm gonna say I am in on this movie with the trailer. I'm a little nervous, a little hesitant with that. You don't get a lot of the acting chops of these unknown actors. What you're getting here is you got a good little glimpse of Paul Giamatti, and I think he's going to kind of steal the show because he is the one actor that has some serious chops, and so I'm looking forward to it for that. I'm also looking forward to see how Ice Cube's son does at playing him. They haven't given you a lot of him, which makes me a little nervous because he has never done anything before. This is his acting debut. Yep. And so I'm a little nervous about it. I'm a little on the fence, but I am in because I do think that it could be a very interesting story. Next one up is April 9th. We got the trailer for The Human Centipede 3. There is no plot details on IMDb yet. The movie is set in an American maximum security prison in the middle of a desert. Are you in or out of this movie based on the trailer? I'm going to go with Doug first.
Oh, yeah, mix it up.
I'm mixing it up.
Mix it up.
You seemed ready, so I'm going with somebody who
I know, I was just about to open up my mouth.
Don't open up your mouth if you're talking about this movie.
No, you don't want your mouth open while this movie's going on.
But I'm on the fence. I still haven't seen the second one. I enjoyed the first one, unlike most people. I thought it was kind of like an eerie movie, and talking with Chad, I'm actually kind of interested in seeing the second one now, just to see how far it will go.
It goes far.
And that'll make me decide on the third one. But right now, I'm in the middle.
All right. How about you, Chad?
I'm in. It was made to be a trilogy. He set it up to be a trilogy. I think it's a perfect ending to the trilogy. The way that he ties all the movies together, I think, is very well done. I mean, besides the whole gross factor of the whole movie, the plots and stuff are actually not that bad. I mean, the guy is pretty good at writing and directing. For the little bit of money that he has, that do these movies, they actually came out really good. If you can get past the poop. I mean, I know Doug said he had a hard time with poop.
Yeah, I'm not a poop fan.
So Doug's not a poop fan, but
Who is?
Not a
This
poop
guy.
fan.
no, I'm not a fan of poop either. But I was a fan of the movies. The first one was good. The second one was good, and I have a feeling the third one's gonna be good.
Me, I had a hard time watching this trailer.
Yeah, we saw you watching it. We should have had a camera
Yeah, we
on
should've
you
filmed you.
because your reaction to the film was
This-
pretty good.
This made me nauseous. The idea of this movie is you have those movies that are like torture porn. I'm not really into those kind of
Like
movies.
Saw.
Like yeah, but Saw is at
More
least
like
has a good
Hostel.
story.
Hostel,
like
yeah,
Hostel is torture
Hostel's
porn.
really torture
That's
porn.
torture porn. And like those kind of movies, this is like gross porn.
Yeah.
Like nasty. Like makes me kind of want to vomit a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could actually sit through this movie.
You could do number one. Number
Not-
one,
number one,
you can sit through. Number
a couple
two,
of
there's
parts
no
that are
way you can
gross,
sit through.
but-
I'm telling you right now, there's no way you can get through two.
Oh my god! Like
But
just
now
watch,
it feels like a challenge. I feel like I should take some Ipecac and
Duh.
then like watch.
I think you can
Zofran.
get through it, but I can guarantee you Shane wouldn't get through it.
sit through Zofran. I'd have night terrors for weeks.
Out of the hour and a half long movie, I would guess Shane would probably watch 20 minutes of it.
Wow,
Like your
that-
eyes would be closed the whole time.
Oh, my Lord.
You wouldn't want to eat while you're watching the movie, and
No, I don't want to eat even after just talking about the trailer. It's so gross.
but,
So I am not the demographic for this.
not everybody is.
If I had to sit down to watch it, like for a review or something like that, I would do it. But I would also not be afraid to get up and walk out of the theater
Yeah.
and destroy the movie.
Yeah.
like
No, yeah.
as a review. But I mean, I don't know. If it's got a good story, there is a potential of being able to kind of get through it. But I don't know that just the thought of that.
It's bad. Yeah,
I did not, when I heard the name Human Centipede, that is not what I was picturing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know what's going on. I thought it was like some kind of horror movie with like centipedes or something like that. And like some guy was like Tusk, like turning into a centipede. Nope.
they turn humans into centipede. That's the whole point. The second movie actually is considered the grossest movie ever made.
Yep, not watching it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah. I
I'll
don't
be
know if
straight
I can
up
do
with
that.
you. I mean,
Maybe
I would
I
never.
can't even watch it.
It's not even a movie I would even. The first one I would consider maybe giving you to watch, but the second one I would never ever ask you to watch because I know you don't like that kind of movie. And
Yeah,
you would,
that'd be tough.
You would instantly hate it. Like you would hate it before you even started watching it.
Yeah, that would be really tough.
So-
really tough.
I mean, it's funny because you said that if you had the review, I was talking to Doug earlier about it, and Ebert. It was Ebert, right?
Yeah.
Ebert. You know, he has to watch all these movies, and
Yeah.
he watches the movie, and his quote was, he actually gave it no stars, not to confused with 0 stars. Like he's given movies 0 stars. He literally gave it no stars because he said, you know, the stars don't shine where this movie's at.
Yeah.
Like-
I agree.
And that was the first one. Like I'm willing to bet he never even watched the second one.
I
Like,
He got it like sent to him. And he's just like garbage.
he was
Yeah.
he basically said he's like, was it bad? Was it good? Who cares?
yeah.
That's right. You know, that was a quote that he gave.
Good. I'm glad. I like him now. All right, so we're gonna move on from discussing this, and we're gonna go to something a little bit more happy and
I don't know about
child-friendly.
happy.
It's
Child friendly.
Yes,
happy?
yes.
Dinosaurs
Dinosaurs,
eating people?
dinosaurs, man, dinosaurs. Who wouldn't want to get grabbed by a pteranodon and fly off?
The only dinosaur movie that was happy-go-lucky is Land Before Time. Every other dinosaur movie is just
no, they just had one about the with
My
the dinosaurs.
nephews were watching this last night. I'm not
It's like with
joking.
real dinosaurs too. It was like pretty good. I watched it with my son.
really.
Yeah, it was all right. It was
Interesting.
interesting. It was
Yeah.
yeah. It was like, it was a good movie. Watched it in the theater last year.
Jurassic-
All right, so
Jurassic
next
World.
one is obviously Jurassic Park. We had a movie clip come out from Jurassic World. The clip shows an interaction between Chris Pratt's character and Bryce Dallas Howard's character. It gives you a little backstory to them and a little insight onto how Pratt gets along with his Velocibuddies. Yeah. Are you in or out based on this movie clip, Chadwick?
I'm in. I've been in from the beginning, and
seems like we get a question about Jurassic World like every week.
Yeah,
every time we do a show.
Every 2 weeks. I think they plan around our show. Actually,
I would. I would. No.
Yeah.
They know Chadwick's all in on everything.
I know, right? I like the fact that they show how Chris Pratt's character, how involved he is in, how passionate he is about the whole art thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't remember exactly. I watched it once, but it just seemed really good to me. It showed how compassionate he was. It showed that he cared about the dinosaurs and that, you know, he was all in. You know, I like that. And I guess him and Bryce Dallas had a little thing going on, and a couple jokes that he threw out. I laughed at the jokes. And I thought it was good. I'm in.
What about you, Doug?
I am all in. It's Jurassic Park, and I'm all about it, and pretty much everything he said. I'm still a little worried about the raptor wrangling thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, he came out and he expressed his how he doesn't like, what did he say, control them.
Yeah, he doesn't
it's out of respect.
They're human. They said something about
he's
they're
like
living beings.
They're living beings. Joss Whedon, who is the director of the Avengers and the Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, came out recently and said that he felt like this movie clip was like a throwback to like the 70s misogynistic pig kind of how a man treats a woman. I am kind of on the same plane as him. I didn't really care for one. I didn't really care for it because its original tones to all these trailers had Chris Pratt kind of being this stoic kind of character, which that's what I wanted from him. I want him to do something different, and then it goes back to this, and now he's Star-Lord again. But now he's taking it to another level because now he's just disrespecting people, you know, like disrespecting the woman about being who she is, like you're a prude, I don't know what sex is kind of deal. Like he was kind of disrespecting her a little bit. I didn't really care for that too much. I thought that he delivered his lines well because it's the same character he plays in everything. Which is unfortunate for him because I wanted to see something different from him. And I think it's also a little disappointing for the movie, but I'm still willing to give it a shot. I'm not, this clip has me out, but I'm still in on the movie overall. Because I want to see it. I hope it brings it back. I've heard some, things like some buzz that they are trying to bring it back to the original practical and terrifying, instead of going over the top with everything, they're just going to try and bring it back to the original tone. So that's I'm in for. I did like hearing about how he's got those Velocifriends. I did like that. I did like hearing his explanation. I still don't think you can really train a Velociraptor, but hopefully they'll sell it in the movie.
Chris Pratt can.
He's a good looking dude.
He is a good looking dude. I'd listen to him.
Yeah, that's not getting edited out. I'd listen to him.
I didn't say it like that.
Yeah. Whisper in my ear, Chris. All right, so April 9th, we had another trailer come out called Sinister 2. Sinister 2 is coming out this year. Based on the trailer, are you in or out on going to see this on its opening weekend? Not like DVD or down the road. This is an opening weekend kind of thing. What do you think, Doug? Out?
I enjoyed the first movie, but I'll say it, I illegally downloaded the first movie.
Hey, we don't do that around here.
Yeah.
Hey,
I did it, not them.
Shame. First shame. I don't like that. I don't like that. But anyway, so you're out. You're
definitely out.
Okay.
I wouldn't go see it on the first weekend.
You might see it down the road, but not on the opening.
The first one
weekend.
wasn't that good.
Okay. What about you, Chad?
Not opening weekend. Probably not in the movie theater. I never seen Sinister 1, so I did like the trailer. I mean, I thought the trailer was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty scary, and it did what it had to do. I mean, if you're a fan of the Sinister 1, I don't see why you wouldn't want. I heard it was a decent movie.
Yeah.
Doug said it was a decent movie, so.
I like horror movies, yeah.
Yeah, I love horror movies. I just never got around to watching this one. I don't know why, but I just never got around to it, and I'm out on watching it on an opening weekend.
Yeah, for me, I'm out too. I mean, the only way I'll see this in the theater is if I get a screener for it, and then I'll be seeing it before it comes out. But That's the only way I'm really going to go see this movie in the theater. I'm intrigued with the story. I'm intrigued with the plot. I think it's interesting. But, you know, horror, I need to really be talked into going and seeing that, and I need to be in the right frame of mind to see a horror movie, which is why Conjuring has been sitting in my DVR for, you know, months and months and months.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah, and like I heard Sinister was really good until the ending. I heard it fell apart at the end, but overall was really good. So I'm interested in it, but I'm not interested in seeing open weekend. I will not see this in the theater.
Yeah.
So I'm out on that. All right, next up is on April 12th during the MTV Movie Awards, we got, in my opinion, some spoiler footage from the upcoming movie Avengers Age of Ultron. What clip? The Hulk versus the Hulkbuster. This clip gives you more in-depth look between the battle between the two and then gives you the reason why the fight is taking place. In or out on this clip that gets you more excited for the movie. What about you, Chad?
I liked the trailer. I mean, I actually watched it. Not too many
You
people.
saw it.
I watched it live. It wasn't live. It was taped.
Yeah.
But I did watch it during the MTV Movie Awards, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it looked pretty cool. I was a little lost because I didn't really understand what was going on, but the actual fight scene looked pretty cool to me. I mean, I would say I'm in.
All right, what about you, Doug?
I'm in. I mean, I love the Avengers, and it looked really good. And for me, most of the clips we had already seen in the trailers anyways. It was kind of like they were just all put together. So
I mean, it did go in a little bit more. I mean, for me, I do think this is kind of a spoiler footage because you got to see, you know, and I'm gonna go through the trailer. So if you didn't see this, you know, fast forward through about a minute.
Earmuffs.
Yeah, earmuffs, exactly. Yeah, earmuffs it through all the way out because you get to see the hub that the Iron Man has because there's a part where the Hulk almost rips his arm off and he has to shake it off, and then it comes and replaces his arm and comes back on, and now he's got a new arm again, and then they go into another fight. Like it, and it also says that she's messing with your head. Like, you're better than this. You're smarter than this, Banner. You can kind of tell that already the Scarlet Witch is behind why Hulk is going bananas right now. It's not anything else, not like Banner's going crazy on his own. Scarlet Witch is behind it. So you have that, and that's the reason why. So I thought that all that was a little bit of spoiler footage. I didn't really care for it. I wish they didn't put it out. I felt like I had to watch it because I was going to talk about it on the show. So that's what I did. I was going to originally come on and say, I don't want to watch this because of this reason, but I watched it so this way I could talk about it, and I wish they didn't show it. I just wish they didn't say it. So I'm still in on the movie because of this. I don't like the clip, though. So the clip didn't get me more excited for the movie. It kind of actually bummed me out a little bit because I got a little more information than I wanted. All right, next one up is April 12th. We get a teaser. And then April 13th, we get the full official full-length trailer to Ant-Man. The Ant-Man synopsis. Armed with a super suit with the astonishing ability to shrink in scale but increase in strength, con man Scott Lang must embrace his inner hero and help his mentor Dr. Hank Pym plan and pull off a heist that will save the world. Are you in or out on the movie based on this trailer? I'm going to start off with Doug.
Ant-Man's kind of a weird character to do. It's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy for me. I wasn't super excited watching the trailers. The movie was phenomenal, though, and I think Ant-Man's going to be the same way. I think Ant-Man's really going to blow my mind when I really see it.
Okay.
Not that this trailer wasn't... This trailer did have a couple of scenes that were pretty awesome, like the train scene. With
It was
the toy
hilarious.
train.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, for me, it was making fun of like movies, kind of like Fast and the Furious, where they had like over the top scenes, and this one's done with like toys.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it's a little like it was cute, and I did enjoy the trailer, so I'm in, but like I gotta wait till the
Not
actual
super
movie's
excited.
out. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Chad?
Super excited.
Yeah?
I didn't know that much about Ant-Man, and I knew Paul Rudd was playing him. I watched this trailer, and I am all in. I'm like Deadpool all in now on this movie.
Wow.
I went back and actually did research on Ant-Man just to find out what he's all about.
Holy cow.
And I loved it, man. I loved the scene where the gun, he shrunk himself, ran across the gun. And like, it was crazy. And, you know, learning how to fight from that girl, you know, then punch me.
Then boom.
Punch him right in the face.
Yeah,
you know?
she held up his hand like to hit his hand.
Yeah, and I don't think they could have picked a better person to play that role either, because, you know, I guess Ant-Man was puny and couldn't fight, and
Yeah, I like Paul Rudd.
I like it, and it looks like it's gonna be goofy, which is right down my lane. You know, and like you said, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and that's with me. I think that this movie is doing what Guardians Galaxy did, and that is take it to another level. Like they are going total humor with this. Like this is going to be like a lot of one-liners, a lot of humor, a lot of comedy, and it's going to have action.
Yeah.
But it's going to mix it together.
Yeah.
I like it. I like doing different takes because it's tough to like do this CG character and have him go down into this shrunken size. And obviously they're going to play off of it because they did that toy train scene, you know, like Thomas the Train kind of come in and, you know, then knocks over. The problem that I had with the trailer, I don't know why Yellow Jacket was all afraid of this train because he's supposed to have super strength when he gets small. So
Yeah,
I don't
didn't get that
understand
either,
that.
and then he stops the train
it drops.
instantly,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he was kind of like I don't understand why he was all afraid of it. But, you know, that's just movie stuff.
Maybe it's
Whatever.
the first time he uses this.
I like the whole scene where he's sitting in the car, like, and he's learning
he
how to
makes the
control
ants spin
how they
the
control
penny.
the
Yeah.
ants.
Yeah, that was cool. That
and
was really
picking
cool.
up the penny and everything, and then they showed the clip of him talking to the little ant. For some reason, I think
Yeah.
there's gonna be a scene after it where like the mother ant comes in or something.
Yeah, it's all
and-
pissed.
yeah, because it looks like a cutesy kind of like
Yeah,
little
yeah.
scene, and I think it's gonna end up being.
I think it's gonna have a lot of humor, which will be kind of refreshing because, you know, we get a lot of dark movies. We get a lot like the Avengers movie will be dark, but it'll also have that humor and all that kind of stuff. And this, you know, we got Guardians last year, which was a lot of humor. I think this is gonna do that as well. I think it's just
is
gonna
this
be really
this is
funny.
Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll end up in a Marvel movie later on?
Yes.
Yeah, I will.
He'll end up like in Civil War. Or
he was
like
he was
Infinity Wars or
in the
something?
comics. He was actually the one that created Ultron.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, the older one, not
no,
Paul
it's
Rudd.
Ant Man.
Yeah, Hank Pym. Hank Pym was Michael Douglas is Hank Pym, who is the person actually created Ultron, but not in the movie
he's
genre.
pushed back.
Not in the movie universe. Scott Lang is the person who actually stole Hank Pym's suit.
Yeah, he's the second.
But
Ant-Man in
they're
the
making
comics,
this.
but-
They're kind of, you know, putting that all together and making Hank Pym kind of recruit Scott Lang.
Which I
to
think is a
steal.
good idea,
It's good.
'cause I like
It's a good way to
Scott
do
He
it.
pushed
'cause-
Michael Douglas to the back. You notice that in the scene where Michael Douglas, his picture is hanging on the wall, and then Michael
Yeah,
Douglas
he's
is in the back of the
background,
crowd. Like you see him in the back of the.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, he's
I didn't
like
see
pushed
that.
back
Showing,
way back,
Pym
showing and
whatever.
Yeah, showing that
laboratories.
you know he's been taken over. You know, and the new guy is taking
Right.
over, and he's controlling everything now.
Yeah.
Now, is Ant-Man? Is he a villain?
No.
He's a good guy.
The villain is Yellow Jacket in this one. The villain's going to be I can't remember what his name is. He was in he's an awesome
The actor
He-
Corey Stoll.
Yes, Corey Stoll. Yeah, Stoll. He is really good, and I think he's going to play the villain pretty well. I liked him. He was in House of Cards. I think he's going to be really good as Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, I think he's going to surprise people because
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a bit darker than what people are expecting.
And that's what I hope.
Yeah.
Because you need a good villain. You need a good villain. I think he'll be a good villain. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Because he's kind of like the evil guy who wants to kind of use the power for evil. Scott Lang, on the other hand, was a thief.
Yeah.
But he wants to turn over a new leaf.
Okay.
And become a good guy. So that's how this happened.
He's doing it all for his daughter in the
Yeah.
comics, and
Yeah.
I think they're doing that in the movie.
They're doing
too,
that for
'cause
the
they
movie,
show
too.
that.
Or there was rumors too that the girl that punched him.
Evangeline Lilly.
They said that eventually she's
Wasp.
gonna become Wasp.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
hope so.
Joss Whedon, the original script for the first Avengers, had Wasp like that. It was like a Wasp heavy movie. Like it was all about her.
Yep.
She was like the main kind of focus in the whole movie, and they ended up throwing out that script. That was Joss Whedon's first script of that movie, and they were like, "Nope, we don't like the Wasp kind of take
Yeah.
on it." So they got rid of it, and now she's gonna be in it. She I bet you'll see her as the Wasp in this movie
Yeah.
at some point.
They said at the end, like,
Yeah.
I
At
hope
some
they
point.
like start building a suit. I hope she's not like fully in it by the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope
we
they
don't-
save it for
Yeah,
like
'cause
the Avengers.
She is kind of a cool character. I like Evangeline Lilly. I think she'll make it a cool character.
Yeah.
she's cool. She's got cool power. I mean, she can shrink down. She can shoot like little
Yeah.
kind of like waspy things. You know, like stings.
Stinger-
Yeah, they're kind of like stingers, but like
Stingers,
you
yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
electricity or something that she's shooting out. And it could be cool. It could be cool to see. And I'm anxious to see how she does with it.
yeah.
All right, so the next one up is the last one is the April 13th we get yesterday. We got the Terminator Genesis official trailer number 2. This one gives us more insight into who the actual bad guy is in the film, and are you in or out on this trailer, making you more excited for the movie. I'll start off.
All right, there you go.
As far as Terminator goes, I haven't been thrilled to see this movie. I do want to see it opening weekend. this trailer didn't get me more excited to see it. It actually made me say, that's kind of weird. That's kind of a strange take. You know, now you're taking the mother who's going to try and go out and kill her enhanced son. Like, I don't know if I like that take. It's a real big twist in the story, and I'm not sure I feel like that it's going to help. I think it might confuse things, and the story might get lost in the middle of it. Like, and how is it going to revert back? I mean, is it John Connor? How can they kill off that character? I like Jason Clarke, who's the bad guy in the movie, who's going to play him. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, like, this is the new enhanced version of the greatest enhanced version of like the Terminators. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna actually make him the evil villain now, and they're gonna have this like teenage girl try and kill her son who's like 35? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I like this time travel take on it. I don't know if I like it. What about you?
I'm not excited about it at all. I've never seen any of the Terminators, so I can't get excited about something that is coming out. I mean, the trailer looked all right, but the first trailer looked all right too, but I'm not in.
No.
No.
What about you?
Exactly what you said. It looks confusing. Like, it's just, I don't know why they decided to go with this angle, and even less why they decided to reveal this twist in a trailer. Like, if I'd gone to see this in the theaters, and if they had shown the Terminator trailer they shown, I would have not had any idea this was coming, and
Right.
it would have surprised me. I would have been like, oh crap, that's like a pretty good twist. But now they kind of ruined that. I
Yeah.
don't know why they did that.
I think they want to kind of get people ready for it almost. And I don't know why they want to get people ready. Because I like twists in movies get people talking.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you'd want to kind of ruin that twist. But I mean, at the same point, I don't.
It did need a selling point because there really was no story for this
No,
movie. other
I mean,
than
they were just like,
redoing what
Arnold's
they were
back in
doing.
it. Like,
Yeah.
that was their selling point. Like, Arnold's back in it.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some explosions and some Terminators. Like, I didn't really care for a lot of the CG work in it either. And like, even Jason Clarke's like,
Yeah, it looks
fakes,
really
like,
not
his
done.
makeup done. It didn't look good. Like, I just not a big fan of like the whole thing. I don't think it'll be very good, but I do want to see it open weekend. I haven't seen a Terminator movie in the theater since T2. So, I mean, it's been a long time since I saw a Terminator movie in the theater. I didn't really care for the other two, and even the TV show didn't do well. All that kind of stuff. It's just been like one after another, bomb after bomb after bomb. So we'll see. We'll see if they can bring it back. You in?
I'm in on Terminator, but I'm out on this trailer. But the other thing I was going to say about this is that there's a whole nother character played by, if you watch Doctor Who, Matt Smith, who was the last Doctor. He's like apparently a important character to this, and they haven't shown a single thing about him in the trailers.
Well, that's good then. Maybe that's something that'll be surprise everybody.
I'm thinking that might be a good twist in this movie that will surprise people, because like they did the Entertainment Weekly covers.
Yep.
He was on the cover. Like, there was 4 actors. It was Arnold, Clark, whatever her name is, Amelia Clark, Jai Courtney, and then Matt Smith.
Okay.
And so, like, if you're gonna like have posters of him,
Yeah.
I feel like you should know a little bit about him. But I don't know. That keeps me interested in the movie enough that I'm willing to go see it.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next segment, and the next segment is But First Let Me Take a Selfie. The hot new trend is for actors and directors to post pictures on social media to give us a glimpse of what they are working on. First up is Jared Leto and David Ayer have been releasing a slow transformation of Leto as becoming the Joker. In the upcoming movie, The Suicide Squad is set to release in August 5th, 2016, and the latest photo titled Where's Jared looks to play off the famous comic book cover, The Killing Joke. What are your thoughts on this most recent photo? What do you think, Doug?
Cool. I like the campaign to like slowly release images without revealing too much. It's,
This time you finally get the green hair.
yeah, it reminds me of what they did with The Dark Knight, where it was like small campaigns everywhere, like doing little things to reveal information, and then when you get the trailer, it's like, oh man, I was prepared for this, but not prepared for this, and I'm really excited. Actually, I hope Jared Leto's not even in the first trailer. I hope they save him for the second trailer.
I
for
hope.
Suicide
I hope.
Squad.
I don't think he's gonna have a big role.
That's
I
why
think he's gonna make some cameo appearances here and there.
I hope
think,
it's like the Vision in the Avengers trailer.
Yeah,
We got literally
that would be awesome.
5 minutes of him.
You know,
I
people
hope
are
it's
gonna
just
be
like the Joker laughing.
Yeah,
and that's it.
and I hope
it'd
he
be
has an awesome
fantastic.
laugh. Did you hear Did you hear him on stage at one of his concerts and came on and did the Joker voice to like a member in the crowd, and he was like, "I'm gonna fucking murder you."
Shut the fuck up. Shut it. Once and for all before I fucking kill you.
Like
That's
he went
awesome.
dark. He went dark, and I was like, I like that voice. That's a good voice. I was really impressed. What do you think, Chad?
I agree with Doug. I like the slow releases of these pictures now. I mean, it gets you a lot more excited about the movies, and I liked it. I mean, like you said, they had the little green hair going on, and, little selfie.
Yeah.
Exactly what
It was, and it's not really he's taking a picture in the mirror,
into
but
the
you know
mirror.
somebody else is taking a
Yeah.
picture of him.
Yeah.
I love this. I like this a lot. I think that especially him doing that kind of famous scene kind of gives you almost a sense of the tone it's going to be. Like he's going to be kind of playing that darker Joker. Like we got a real dark Joker with Heath Ledger. I think it's going to be on that same level, maybe even a little darker.
I want like a combination of Jokers. Like he's a little bit goofy sometimes, but like you really know you're dealing with a serious murderer.
Like a psychopath.
What I really want is like one of the badass characters to be actually like terrified of the Joker.
Yeah.
Whatever scene it is. Like,
Yeah.
Just like pissing their pants, absolutely terrified.
Like,
of this
don't
guy.
mention his name. Don't mention
Yeah,
like kind of
and
deal.
this guy
like,
has like superpowers or something,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh man, this dude's absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
the guy that doesn't fear death. He's like pure evil incarnate.
Yeah.
All right, the next one up is another upcoming comic book movie. We get a couple of photos. Yes, it's Deadpool again. First up, we get a picture of Ed. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Screen, I guess.
Screen, yeah.
Yeah, Screen. I don't know. You get a picture of his chair, which says Ajax on it. And Ajax was a part of the Weapon X program as well, and is also supposed to be an upgraded version of Deadpool. He's supposed to be quicker, faster, stronger, like all that kind of stuff. The other photo is Deadpool squatting next to a standing Negasonic teenage warhead. What are your thoughts on the pictures of these two characters, Chad? Mr.
it.
Deadpool.
Love it. Love it. I mean, we pretty much knew like he was gonna be Ajax a long time ago. But now
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't
say it
hear-
was in the rumors and
Yeah.
stuff that he was pretty much in the front running. But since the picture came out, it's official now. I mean, I love it. It's gonna be interesting. I think like Deadpool and Ajax going at it and similar characters like you said, but it's
Yeah.
Ajax he's stronger, faster, and he feels no pain.
But he's not Deadpool. Yeah, he's got all his nerve endings severed.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be awesome. Anything Deadpool to me is great.
Right.
I think with Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna see a lot of pictures because Ryan Reynolds is on Instagram.
Oh, he is campaigning this.
and
like,
he's
like-
he's on Twitter and he's campaigning. He's excited about this. I love it. I love that.
Yeah, that's great. What about you?
It's okay. I've never been a big fan of set photos. It's just not. I don't know. I've never been a fan of it, but I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan. I think he's a little too comic booky, and I think a lot of audience members aren't going to get that at first. But he is a good character that I think really could pull in money, first of all, and he could do what like Marvel did for Iron Man and really get a good comic book character to start selling his comic books again.
Yeah.
Because Deadpool sells comic books good, but like if he's huge, like Guardians of the Galaxy, they sell comic books now.
Yeah.
They didn't before.
No, they did not.
And now Deadpool can really get to that point where he is huge, and I really like that. I like the
He has
cross-centers
such a
between-
cult following.
Yeah.
I like these set photos. I thought that that's how they introduced kind of Ajax, which is great. That whole take on him. I mean, Deadpool and him have kind of they definitely have gone back and forth a few times in the comics. Deadpool has killed Ajax a couple of times in the comics, and this movie, now that it's rated R, they have some violent fights, like
There's gonna be
blood
blood
and gore, like
everywhere.
arms, losing arms, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like it is going to be violent, and that's cool. Now, as far as the Negasonic teenage warhead, there's not much information on her, but she is one of those characters that kind of dies off pretty quickly in the comics. So I don't know a lot about her. I can't really comment on it, but I did like the photo. You have her standing there looking all like a teenager,
Yep.
being all pissed off at everything. And then you have him just sitting there like
Yep.
Like looking at her like,
Yeah.
he's kind of giving her a hard time
Yeah.
kind of deal. Come on, explode. I want to see if I live.
Yeah.
Like, kind of deal. Like,
Yeah.
come on, can you do it, please? Let's see. The next thing up is in non-comic book news. We got a picture from the Rocky spinoff, Creed, starring Michael B. Jordan and Sly Stallone. In this picture, you see Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone in the ring looking like they are practicing some punch combos. What are your thoughts on the first official image released from the movie Creed? I'm going to go with you, Chad.
I liked it. I mean, it looks like they're going to be working pretty closely together. I mean, looks like Sly's going to show him how to do it. I mean, he's done it, 6 movies? Whatever. I mean, it was 6?
Yeah.
Six Rockies?
Six, yep. This is kind of like a play on the 5th. Like, it's like almost like they're like, all right, get rid of the 5th one. Now you're going to become the real trainer. Now you're going to train. You did that last fight.
Yeah.
You're going to come and train. He's not getting back in the ring. He's going to become that old, wise boxing guru that's going to help Creed, who is Apollo Creed's son.
I was gonna say
believe
son,
it's his
right?
son. They originally had it as his grandson, but now I believe it's his son.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that puts him at around 30 years old, which is kind of getting up there in boxing ages. As far as everything else, he's going to be in the corner of Creed. But with the photo, I didn't really care for the photo too much. As far as all the boxing photos that were out there, like we got Jake Gyllenhaal in Southpaw, looked amazing. You had Miles Teller in the Vinny Paz. They had a bunch of shots from the screen. Yet those looked great. This one was just kind of like, just practice some punch combos. And I was like, it's all right, I wasn't really overly impressed with the photo, but it's cool to see that you're finally seeing something with Sly, but I just wasn't impressed with the photo. The next segment is a segment that Chad really loves. It's called The Courtroom. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we got to flip a coin here.
You guys decide to have me back, I'm bringing a gavel.
Oh, nice. Take it easy. Take it easy on the desk. We'll have to get a separate
I'll do
pillar.
it like my hand.
We'll have to get a separate pillar for you to gavel on. So we're going to flip a coin to choose who goes first. Each of us get 40 seconds in the first segment, and then we get a 20-second rebuttal. After all said and done, with all the information given, where does the judge fall? Who's the judge? Our guest, Doug. The Doug is the guest, yes. So,
Impartial.
Yes, impartial.
I didn't even look at the question. That's how impartial I am.
Nice. I like that.
We're going to flip a coin right now, and since I won last week, you're going to call it. All right? I'm going to flip and pound it, just like last week. All right?
Heads. Heads. There you go.
Tails again.
What do you want to do?
This is what the question is. There is a new way for ultra rich to watch movies that are playing in the theater right now. It's called Prima Cinema. What is Prima Cinema? Well, let me tell you. The player costs $35,000 and each movie is a 24-hour download for $500, which the ultra rich are right now having these installed in their fancy home theaters, and it's flying off the shelves. The question is, could Prima Cinema eventually hurt the movie theater business down the very long-term road, put them out of business? Chad feels yes. I think no. And now we're going to argue why we feel that way. So Chad is going to be up first. Go.
All right. So just like computers started off big, very unreachable for the average guy like us.
Yep.
But rich people got them. Now poor people want them too. I mean, it's just like one of those things where it's going to downscale to the point where it's going to be affordable for everybody to do it. And who wouldn't want to watch the movies at home? Like, instead of going to the movie theater, you can invite 10 people over, you download it, and eventually it's going to be maybe $100 and $200 to rent a movie now. It's very reachable for the above average guy now. I don't think it's going to take down the movie theater business, but it might put a dent in the movie theater business. It's not going to hurt the movie companies itself.
All right. For me, I think that this is not going to hurt the movie theater business at all. I don't think that they're going to downscale this. I mean, right now you have $35,000 to download it, and that hasn't changed. The price hasn't changed in 3 years. Like, it has not gone down. The download money has not gone down. It hasn't changed. That's a 3-year time. That's a long time. Now you have, even if it goes down, say now it's down to $2,000 to buy the contraption. It's the size of a PlayStation now. A $200 download. You're talking, you can spend $2,000, 20, and then another extra $200, and then on top of that, you have to invite 10 people over to see it on this tiny screen when you can go see it for $1,750 in a huge IMAX screen. All right, Chad, you get a 20-second rebuttal.
Oh boy.
Ready? set.
The rich people set the precedent for a lot of things. Now the rich people have all this stuff. Now the lower people always want to climb that ladder to get to where they are. And it's like one of those things. Hey, these guys are watching movies in their house. I want to watch movies in my house. It's gonna eventually get to that point where you're gonna be able to afford it, and put a dent into the movie theater business.
So the ultra rich might set the standard, but I feel like the real rich, the studios and the theaters, will not let the price come down because they are not going to want to hurt the box office results, because the theaters bring in all the money for these studios to be able to get the movies. They're not going to make as much money if you have 20 people coming in and sitting at your house. So that is it. We've kind of gone back and forth. Now, what do you think? Do you think that Chad saying that yes, they will eventually drop the price so low and they will put a huge dent in the theaters, or do you think that the theaters will prevent it?
I think no. I don't believe that it will be a thing that happens. Like, I don't think it will become mainstreamed.
I think it's tough. I mean, this is an interesting topic. I mean, I think it's very tough to have something like this, because if you have a studio and the theaters, which make their money off the theater, I mean, 2/3 of that box office goes to the studio. 1/3 of it goes to the theaters. These theater chains are multi-billion-dollar corporations, and I just find it so difficult to say that they're going to let this happen. But people will start scamming the system, and it'll no longer be $200. They'll be getting it for free, like they did with DirecTV and all that kind of stuff. They bought the fake cards and stick those in. And then the movies industry now is not taking any money. You're not going to get Avengers movies anymore because nobody's going to make, those movies aren't going to make $2 billion at the box office anymore. They're going to be making $200 million at the box office when you need them to make at least $1 billion. Like, the Avengers movie is probably going to cost somewhere around $250 million to make. They won't be able to make those anymore. And I think that is the biggest thing. Like, they can't get their return on investment. So the movie industry itself would, I think, collapse if they let it happen. All right, so we're going to move on to the next segment. The next one is the questions from the cinefans, the cinemaniacs, the cinepublic. And we're going to go with our first topic. We're going to try and rip through these a little bit.
Rip through these.
The first one up is Justin Preston. He asked, Daniel Day-Lewis or Leonardo DiCaprio? Who is the better actor? I'm going to go with you, Chad, first.
Leo.
That's it?
I'm answering the question. Who's the better actor?
But why?
I've seen him in more stuff. I mean, I love Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln. I thought he did a phenomenal job in that. And but I've just seen more of Leo, and I like most of his movies. I mean, he's been in a lot of like award nominee movies. I mean, I don't think he's won one, right?
Who, Leo?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Yeah. So, he's been nominated a few times, and
Daniel Day-Lewis has won 3.
Yeah. But I've seen more movies with Leo in it, and so I would have to go with Leo. Because
Daniel Day-Lewis won for Lincoln. I think he won for. Did he win supporter for Gangs of New York or no? He might have been in for Last of the Mohicans, and he also was There Will Be Blood. He won for that. So
yeah.
He's just.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie. That was a good movie.
For me, I think that if you're just talking about who's the better actor, I think Daniel Day-Lewis is better. He's just a better overall actor. He is a phenomenal talent. He takes a year just to prepare for his role, and then he does the thing. Like, he doesn't break character. He is his character for a year preparing for his role at home. Doing his shoe cobbling or whatever he does. Yeah. He is at home and he is just he is a master of his craft. The biggest issue with me is Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor. I think he has time to catch up to possibly become the greatest actor of all time. But I think as of right now, you choose him. But Leonardo DiCaprio has proven that he can do multiple things. Like, he can do comedy, he can do action, he can do drama, he can do everything. Yeah. And he's proven that time and time again. Daniel Day-Lewis hasn't really done anything on the comedy route. He had a couple jokes here and there on Lincoln where he was kind of funny. Yeah. But he has never done anything in that realm. But if I had to just pick and say, as of right now, who is the better actor, I would say Daniel Day-Lewis is better. But Leonardo DiCaprio is probably top 10 right now. In my opinion, he's top 5 greatest actors living right now. But overall, I would just say Daniel Day-Lewis is probably number 1 on most people's lists. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis. I I love Leonardo DiCaprio, but Daniel Day-Lewis, he becomes that character literally.
Yeah, you can't even like.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio, he walks off set and he's Leonardo DiCaprio again. Not that he couldn't do it,
Right.
but he doesn't. Daniel Day-Lewis stays in that character the entire time of filming, and that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
That he literally becomes another person for a year of his life.
A year or two, yeah, because depending on how long it takes to film
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff, it's just amazing. His transformations are amazing. Like you believed that he was Lincoln.
Yeah.
Like it is amazing. And like the transformation between him and Lincoln or him and There Will Be Blood, like two totally different. And then the horrifying character that he was in Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I mean, talk about it like a menacing character. Probably one of the most intimidating characters in all of cinema. I mean, he is crazy. The Butcher. Oh. All right. So next up we have another question. Repeat from Brad Neff. Yeah. Brad Neff asking another question. Will you guys consider doing reviews? This is more of a question about our show.
Yep.
Will you guys consider doing a review of your fans' movies? I know you guys pick out what to review, and of course you do some classics, but perhaps once a week or at least every show you pick a fans movie to watch and put that review on your show. What do you think? What are you thinking about that? I kind of like it.
I like it to do it every other, maybe every other show, maybe, or
Chad and I have been talking about possibly
getting
making
the
a different
fans warm.
segment
Yeah.
of the whole movie, like doing the voter by you and the movie bi-weekly movies that we do, and kind of recording it the same day, but making it a different segment. So
Yeah.
having two separate shows almost. Releasing them so you have one every week.
Our problem right now is time. I mean,
It is time.
You're a big family man, and I got time, but
Is that a fat joke?
Yeah,
I'm a big
yeah, like
family
Peter
man.
Griffin. But I mean, the time to put in to watch two movies instead of one.
Yeah.
That would be very time consuming. I would have to be here at 6 a.m. instead of.
We could also. I mean,
we could do it on an off week
separately. Yeah.
I mean,
we could
do it
Skype
separately.
in movie.
But I mean, we could always post it and see what people think. I mean, we'll see what kind of reaction we get to it, and if enough,
I do like the idea though.
if enough people put enough movies down, I mean, maybe we could throw it in the next episode. Or I'm always down because our viewers, they might have different likes than us, and they might want to see, hey, how do these guys feel? I mean, we always agree to disagree on some movies, and we agree on movies, and we disagree on movies. I mean, it's just. I like the idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's something we could throw out there.
It's definitely something to talk about. That's for sure. We can. We might be able to figure out a way to incorporate that in this show, or in doing a separate one, having like this one be kind of more of an hour and a half, and that being like a half hour, 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Given about 10 minutes per movie, kind of deal. The next question is from Paul Severance. Paulie, what do you guys enjoy more? A cheesy, funny sci-fi movie, or one with special effects that just blow your mind? Cheesy sci-fi movie. What's a cheesy like
Spaceballs?
It's a Starship Trooper.
Mars Attacks.
Starship Troopers.
Yeah, that's kind of like a cheesy sci-fi movie. Even I guess Galaxy Quest is
Galaxy
a little cheesy
Quest,
sci-fi.
Love Galaxy
That's a great
Quest.
movie, isn't it?
We'll go Spaceballs. That's kind of goofy.
That's a goofy.
cheesy.
It's a spoofy kind of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And then you have the overwhelming the Avengers type of movies, and with special effects and all that kind of stuff. For me, I mean, they're both. I love them both.
Yeah.
I would not want to get rid of either one. But for me, I get excited and amped up when I see like an Avengers movie getting ready to be shot. Like I have been excited for Batman vs Superman for like 3 years now since they announced it like several Comic-Cons ago.
Yeah. I
I am so over the moon excited about that movie. If they sold tickets right now, I'd buy a whole row, like in an IMAX theater. I cannot wait to see that movie. So I would have to say, for me, the special effects that blow my mind. I love watching those cheesy movies, but I kind of like watching those more at home, like sitting down, watching some friends, picking at the movie a little bit, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. What about you? What do you had to choose one or the other?
I mean, cheesy, funny sci-fi. I would have to go with. I mean, I don't really understand like the whole what he means by the genre of cheesy, funny sci-fi. But I mean, I'm
that's the Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of
cheesy.
CGI, and that's what the big blow your mind movies are now. I mean,
You loved Furious 7.
I did. I mean, I did, but
Love
It's
Galaxy.
kind of a
You like
combination of the
Guardians
two,
Galaxy?
actually.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you have.
I would go with the funny sci-fi. I'm more on the edge of comedy anyway, so I would definitely go with the cheesy, funny sci-fi movies.
What about you?
Big spectacle. I love
Yeah.
it. Like, I love comedies, but
Especially when going to the movies, like when
nothing
you go
beats
in.
leaving the theater and feeling like you can kick everyone's ass.
Yeah.
From the adrenaline.
Even as an adult, I feel like that. Like sometimes, like when you were a kid, you would leave the theater like after watching like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yeah.
You come out and you're like,
Yeah.
I
wanted nunchucks and everything.
it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like I'm Leonardo, like pretending to do flips, and like you're out in the parking lot doing cartwheels and shit,
Yeah.
and, like just going crazy. Like it's just you. And then you're like, when you're walking out in the theater now, you're kind of like, I really want to do that, but I don't know if I can get away with it. Like that kid's doing it. Maybe we can be friends. So yeah, I love it. I just love the huge
the
spectacle.
euphoria you get from it.
Yeah,
is
it's
just
cool.
amazing.
It's really cool. So I guess we'd have to say, yeah, I think cheesy,
Yep.
cheesy comedy,
Yeah.
and like that. But I mean, really, either one.
Either
They
one.
all
Either-
have their
yeah,
place.
either
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
There's just more of the spectacle that, especially in the theater when you're going. Like I get more amped up to go see those in the theater than I do at home.
Yeah.
All right, so we have another repeat question. Another asker. Another person asking us question for the second time.
Yeah.
We have Elizabeth Reed. So you guys seem to have some favorite movie genres that you gravitate towards. What is it about those movie genres that you love? I think we just kind of answered that a little bit. Like for me, I love that over the top like spectacle, but like kind of almost still keeping it real and keeping you in the theater. Because I really do gravitate towards like the comic book movies, the superhero movies, but I do like movies like Inception and stuff like that that are just big, huge movies that just mess with your mind, and like they're just so cool to see play out on the big screen
Yeah.
with all the special and practical effects. I love those because I feel like when you're going to the theater, that's what you're going to see. You're taken on a journey. I love it so much, and I don't get as excited to go see the next rom-com in the theater or the next comedy. Like I do, I love comedies, love them to death, but I don't like jump out of my seat and like, all right, a comedy. Horrors, obviously, I'm kind of like skittish about seeing them in the movie theater anyway. And then on top of that, I have like the Nicholas Sparks kind of movies, the romantic novels kind of movies, like The Notebook.
He's a horseback rider.
I called it. I was in my little
lamest
vagina-
ride.
The lamest ride. Yeah. So I don't really. I haven't seen any of his movies. Period. Not in the theater, at all.
Yeah, I mean,
And because
I don't
just
think
because
I've ever seen
I could be
one.
talked into seeing one with somebody.
who's this
I-
you're talking about again?
Nicholas Sparks,
Did he do
The Notebook. He did
I
The Long
have
Shot.
seen
Oh, yeah, I've
He's
seen
done
The
all
Notebook.
those.
I love
movies.
The
I have
Notebook.
seen the Notebook.
Yeah,
I
haven't
actually
seen
enjoyed
any
it.
of Yeah, and I could see myself enjoying it, but I will never go out of my way to watch it.
Yeah.
Like I won't. I do like rom-coms. I love them.
Yeah.
Like When Harry Met Sally, one of my favorites. Sleepless in Seattle, one of my favorites. Like I love those movies. Amazing, but I don't know. It's just something about
His are
them.
more straight up romantic movies, anyways.
Yeah. What about you? I mean, and why you gravitate towards the movies that you do?
I mean, I love comedy movies, but I've been tending to gravitate more towards like the true story kind of movies.
Biopics?
Yeah, like biopics, like even documentaries. I'm really getting into now, and I just I recently, probably a couple weeks ago, finally got to see Citizen 4.
Okay.
And that totally blew my mind, like the shit that he went through, and I mean, I know it's very controversial and everything, but I love seeing that, and I love the fact that he wanted to put it out there and put himself in that movie, and I'm wicked excited about the movie coming out. I mean, there's a movie coming out about him, and
JGL.
yeah, I'm really hoping that it's true
Shailene.
to the whole thing, and tend to gravitate towards them because they're kind of like
just more
feel good
realistic.
movies. Like usually they all have happy endings, and kind of make you believe that you can do something if you really wanted to. I mean, I like those kind of movies, and I'm really gravitating towards those kind of movies. but comedy's still probably my favorite. I just like the laugh, you know that.
Cool.
Like,
Yeah. Obviously. Yes.
I laugh at a lot more things than the normal person laughs at. So
Actually, you have like a little play on the lamest ride on your shirt right there.
yeah, this is actually the longest ride right here. Yeah, the Pixar version.
Yeah. What do you gravitate towards? What do you do?
Nothing really different from what you were saying. It's just.
I mean, but you love comic books.
Yeah,
you love comic books. I'm sure you watch all the cartoons and.
I like where it seems like all the odds are against the protagonist. Where literally, if everything's going wrong for them, in the end they still make it work out. That is like my favorite type of movie. Like you mentioned Inception, everything goes wrong at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Like right before it like finishes, everything goes wrong, and that I was just like, oh man. They're like screwed, and I love that. Don't know why, but I love when the protagonist has to literally drag themselves through the dirt to get to the end.
Yeah, it
makes me feel better about myself for some reason.
You don't like the unhappy ending kind of
No.
evil villain. I mean,
I
the
only
evil
like
villain
unhappy
coming
endings
through.
in horror movies because usually it's like a twist to me that I was like, oh, it's gonna have a happy ending, and then no, that guy won.
Yeah, I grew up on the comics a little bit. I wasn't really super into comics then, but I did have some comic books, and I really watched all the cartoons, like the X-Men, and it's just so cool to see it all play out in real life now. Like, it blows my mind. It's like, this is so cool to see. Like, just brings you back to your youth. It's just awesome. The next question up is from Carla Kingsley, and she is from the Vodka Press. She has her own show that she does, and the Vodka Press is a woman-run, curious person-oriented podcast, putting another hub for cultural conversation on the map. Hosted by the Vodka Press members, Carly, Ashley, and Zoe. I think that's it. I think it's Zoe. The Vodka Press podcast is a highball of themed discussion laced with whimsy and occasional spritz of mayhem. They have a really nice little website. I really liked it. I went and checked it out. I also listened to one of their podcasts, which you can find on SoundCloud. I know that's where I listen to on, and they're really good. They have a lot of good chemistry, and I really dug what they were doing. I liked it a lot.
I listened to one of them.
Yeah, and she was and she came on and she actually posted on one of the pictures that I had on Facebook, which was about the Suicide Squad. It was just a big group photo of all the characters during like one of their read-throughs. She did an entire show about this. She has co-hosts, boyfriend, friends that all understand the Suicide Squad, and she admittedly she's not an expert. She asks us, do we think that the idea of it translate well to the general public, since we are talking about making a movie, and what steps are being taken to move the Suicide Squad brand forward to ensure that it is on par with other motion picture franchises? Now, this is, for me, it's a very in-depth question. Like, I have a lot to kind of say about this.
Talk full 2 hours about this, but
as far as the Suicide Squad goes, they're in Arrow. And they have their own little kind of subplot in that show. I don't know a ton about the Suicide Squad because the Suicide Squad is kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy in the DC comic world. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy are good guys. Suicide Squad is not, but they both are not widely read comics. They're not well-known properties. The biggest uphill battle that the Suicide Squad has is they don't have a movie to really fall back on other than The Man of Steel, which was kind of split among fans and critics. It didn't have a widely successful critic rating. Made a good amount of money at the box office. I loved the movie.
So did I.
Yeah, I thought it was a great take on Superman. But the biggest thing that I think will help this comic book franchise get off the map is, one, this has to be at least a good movie. But their biggest hurdle is Batman vs. Superman. If Batman vs. Superman is just okay, Suicide Squad, even if it's a great movie, will do okay, but they will not move the franchise forward. If they do this, they can say, from the creative minds of Batman vs. Superman, and really hammer that home into, like, oh, these are the kind of people that did Batman vs. Suicide Squad's going to be great. Like, and plus they have all these great characters, which I think the actors also help. The actors that they have Will Smith, Deadshot. They have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, which she is an up-and-coming, like, she is a star. Like, she is really talented. And I cannot wait to see this movie play out. I think that if Batman vs. Superman is a good film, it doesn't matter what Suicide Squad is. Even if it's just an okay film, they'll still have the potential to make a second film because they could drop David Ayer. and get a whole different writing and directing team and then make a second one, because that one will be falling on the heels of Batman vs Superman, so people will go out and see it and it'll make enough money to be able to make the franchise go forward. That is the biggest thing, is that they have to have a successful line of movies. Like you'll have a decent Man of Steel, you know, I loved it, you loved it, but critically and fans, they kind of it's on the fence a little bit. And then you have Batman vs Superman. If that movie's awesome, they can completely drop the ball on Suicide Squad, and then obviously just keep going forward. They have a whole line. They have so many movies that they're going to make, and if Suicide Squad is good after Batman vs Batman Superman, you will get the franchise then. That'll be a guaranteed franchise. Batman vs Superman is awesome. Suicide Squad is good. Then you're going to get a sequel. You'll have it announced either another 2 years from that movie, or at least within the 5-year period, because it's going to be tough to keep Will Smith.
I don't know, Man in Black.
Yeah, but I mean, even he isn't doing the second Independent movie, Independence Day, that's coming out. You know, he drops out of quite a few movies because, you know, he just is picky about his roles now, and he's in this right now,
which is why this is exciting. Actually,
what is his name? Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney.
He worries me, but as Captain Boomerang, Captain Boomerang is very flamboyant, out
just
there, and
overdo the Australian accent, and I'm fine with it.
And I just don't know if he can do it, but I hope he can. But as far as everybody else in the cast, I can't wait. David Ayer. I have issues with David Ayer. He always if he ruins a movie, he always ruins it for me towards the end, like in Sabotage, or like there's certain parts that I just nitpick at his movies. But he does have a good vision, and as long as he plays that out, I think we're good to go. The biggest deciding factor about the franchise is Batman v Superman. That's good. We're good for a franchise. Then you got your franchise. What about you, Chet?
I think you just covered it all right there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you went on a 15-minute rampage right there about.
I'm all about it. Like I can't add.
I have input.
I would say I can't add anything to what you said, so I'm gonna let Doug talk now.
Suicide Squad is a genius concept, in my opinion, to make a movie out of, because it's not like any other superhero movie that's been out yet. They're using villains
yes,
as the main thing.
Yes,
and that's like a big deal. Like they can actually have these people kill people and stuff like that, and it's nice to root for the bad guys, because the bad guys make the superhero movies.
They can, yeah.
And
I'm anxious to see who's going to be the antagonist in this movie.
Yeah,
I'm anxious to see who this person, because I mean, even their leader, Amanda Waller.
Yeah,
she's a bad guy. I mean, she's got like bad moral judgment, like kind of deal. Like she just doesn't care about anybody other than her motive and what she wants to accomplish. She doesn't care who she has to kill or what has to go down. She'll kill out a whole freaking country if she has to get what she wants to get done. I like the whole thing. I like the whole premise.
Yeah.
Just how they control the Suicide Squad is pretty cool. I don't know if you know anything about it, but just to control the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller has control over them, because she puts devices in them that if they step out of line and try to get away and all that kind of stuff, she can basically kill them with one flip of a switch, like they're dead. And if they agree to her terms, they have a chance to reduce their sentence.
Yeah.
And get back to their whatever their ways or their family or whatever they're going back for.
The other great thing about Suicide Squad is it allows them to use a lot of villains that wouldn't get used. A lot of the B and C villains,
like Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, like, he would never work as a bad guy by himself. So like it works out. Plus, I mean, one of the selling points for this movie too, one of the ways it's going to sell, is Jared Leto being the Joker, because that is a big selling point. A lot of people use the internet now. A lot of websites have been posting about this, and the Joker's a pretty big character. Just saying that the Joker's going to be in this has already gotten this more press than it would have gotten.
There's been talks that Batman's going to be in it too.
I strongly believe Batman's going to be in it.
There's so many reasons how this could be a successful franchise. And those are all of them. Like the villain side to, being like the anti-hero, because they are killing for good purpose. I mean, it's Amanda Waller, so it's technically good because she's on the government.
They have had anti-heroes on the Suicide Squad.
And it's like,
people that do good, but they go about the wrong way.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things that, like, there's so many reasons why this could be a good franchise, and I hope, beyond hope, that it works out well. I am over the moon to see how Margot Robbie does Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
She knocked it. She did the accent almost perfectly in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to seeing her do this. And I can't wait to see this. Like, I heard the outfits are going to change throughout the movie and
Yeah,
everything.
she's gonna have
She's going to pay like
multiple
an homage
outfits.
to like all of the comics down the road. And her and her take with the Joker, and the Joker is one of the hugest aspects as far as DC goes in general, because he is the number one stunner villain out of it. Like, my favorite villain all time, the Joker. Like, he is awesome. I have a couple of pictures in here of him. I have the Joker right here. Like, I love the Joker.
And when it comes to DC villains, he's the first one everyone's gonna think
Oh, of course, yeah.
And
All right, so that hopefully we answered your question a little bit. A lot of different ways that franchise could succeed and be. That is the main reason. It's more of like how the movies do to make it a franchise, and that's why they haven't said already they're coming out with Suicide Squad 2. And even if they do before the movie comes out, that's usually just a marketing ploy, because even if they say they're going to make it, they don't have to.
The Amazing Spider-Man. They said they're coming out with 2 more sequels and spin-offs.
Yeah,
and crap,
and
so.
and it all depends on how the movie does and is received. But they can have a failure as long as Batman vs Superman is.
Yeah,
huge.
that is a deciding factor. Yeah,
And they can incorporate those characters throughout too, and and rebuild that character group back up. I think Amanda Waller is going to be kind of interesting too.
It's just like looking at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If Iron Man hadn't worked,
It would have
the
been
Marvel
done.
Cinematic Universe wouldn't have worked.
Like they hit one after another after another after another. I mean, like even Captain America, the first one, it didn't do great, but it was.
I don't even like that. I think that's the worst Marvel movie.
I liked it, but it wasn't great.
It was required, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, you need the first Avenger.
You need to know Captain America's story
Yeah.
because it led to, in my opinion, the best Marvel movie, with Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
I definitely
Not my
the
favorite.
best, the best solo.
Not my favorite, but it was the best one.
It was my favorite solo movie, the Captain America movie. Like as far as Avengers go, I think Avengers was better than Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but I think as far as a standalone kind of superhero movie, I think that was the best of that. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next segment, which is the bi-weekly movies that me and Chad do. And the bi-weekly movies that we do is a quick recap. We'll do a quick recap and then review them and rate. The first movie the movie that I gave Chad this week was Point Break, starring Keanu and Mr. Patrick Swayze himself, Mr. Roadhouse.
Mr. Roadhouse.
All right, what did you think of the movie? What did you think of Point Break?
I actually, when you gave it to me, you said it was another Patrick Swayze movie, and you never told me Keanu Reeves was in it.
I didn't?
No, I don't think so, because I didn't realize it until I turned the movie on, and his name popped up, and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot stand this guy.
You don't like Keanu Reeves?
He is...
Did you see John Wick?
No.
Oh, you gotta
He
see
is
that
my
movie. That's
number...
awesome.
He is literally my number 2 worst actor.
Who's number
my
1?
list. Brendan Fraser. That guy is terrible.
No, he's not.
Yes, he's
He's
terrible.
awesome.
He's goofy.
He's terrible.
Bedazzled is amazing.
He's made some bad movies, and he's just bad acting in it. But anyway, the way I looked at this movie, pretty much they said, hey, let's get the 3 worst actors we can find, put them all together, and maybe they can make a movie that's good, and they did not do it. Gary Busey was terrible in it. Gary
like the meatball subs?
Gary Busey was Gary Busey in this movie. I mean, his jokes made no sense.
Yep.
Like no sense. Like I'm like sitting there. I'm like, what did he just say?
This is such a great heist movie.
No, it was terrible.
Have you seen Hot Fuzz?
Yeah.
You know how like they play off Point Break and like shoot at the sky.
I like Hot Fuzz. Yeah, like I said, Keanu Reeves was terrible in this movie, and Patrick Swayze was just as bad. He was not a believable surfer dude or whatever. Right from the beginning, the first argument between Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves was just a terrible dialogue movie. Like. It was just
any dialogue with Gary Busey is going to be.
It was just bad.
I don't know.
It wasn't even funny though. Like Gary Busey's funny sometimes, like in his kind of weird way. He did not hit at all on this movie for me. I kind of made my roommate kind of made a joke, and it's actually kind of funny with the scene where Keanu Reeves was lying to the girl about said his parents had died in a car crash.
Yep.
So he's lying to her, acting. His acting, Keanu Reeves' acting within acting is better than his actual acting. Like, he actually did a good job when he was acting in his acting role. He lied perfectly to her, and he did a really good job, and then he just went back to being...
His parents were dead.
And then he just went... back to being Keanu Reeves after that, and no way, dude. You know, like he's just
I know,
he's
Kung
just,
Fu.
yeah, he's just way out there, man. And the one scene that stuck in my head was it was a really corny scene, and it was where they were surfing together for the first time.
Yep.
And you see the big fake wave in the background for one, and it's the first time Keanu Reeves learned how to actually surf, and he's surfing across. He's I'm fucking surfing, and then the next scene was a cut to Swayze going, yeah, like this with a fist out and everything, and I'm like, this is so goddamn fake. It's not even funny.
It is. I mean, it's a movie that hurt. It's a movie that hurts so good.
It hurt me so good that I watched it, and I had to watch it. Like, I was following
it is a guilty pleasure. It is.
It's not for me. I would never watch it again in my life.
We're gonna watch it again.
The chase scene, he threw a dog at him, like a full, like it was a big dog. It wasn't like a puppy or something. He turned around and literally threw a dog at him. Like who? Like it was. Oh my god, it was so terrible. It was. Obviously, you knew what was gonna happen. You knew Patrick Swayze's clan was the robbers.
You knew that he wasn't gonna shoot him at the end.
Well, all that stuff. No, I didn't. I kind of figured he wasn't gonna shoot him at the end. Because they were buds now. Like, yeah,
They
man.
have a bond.
Yeah, they had a little bond going on, and it was the acting was terrible in this movie. Kind of like what you said about Furious 7. Like with the acting, kind of brought this movie down. The acting for me brought it down, and like I said, I'm not a big Keanu Reeves fan at all. I loved him in Hardball, but that was because he played a goofy character. Like that was. He played a character more like Keanu Reeves in real life.
Yeah.
Like, he's that kind of character. Like, and Patrick Swayze was not a believable surfer dude for me.
Come on.
He wasn't a...
It's Swayze.
Hey, he got in that fight, and all I could think was Roadhouse. Like,
Be nice until it's not time to be nice.
he did that little roundhouse kick, and I was like, please say it, please say it, please say it.
Roadhouse.
And nobody said it. But, I like I keep on forgetting his name. He's in a TV show that I really like now, and he disappointed me in this movie too. But he was in Scrubs. John McGinley.
Oh yeah.
He was in Scrubs. I loved him in Scrubs. He's in a new show, Ground Floor, that I absolutely love. He's been in a lot of good movies. Like he was in 42, and he was. If I remember, I got it in front of me, but he was in a bunch of movies, and he was great in Wild Hogs.
Office Space.
Wild
Awesome
Hogs, yeah.
in The Rock.
In The Rock, yeah, he was in The
Oh, yeah,
Rock
yeah.
too. I loved him in Wild Hogs, like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but he disappointed me in this role because he's a better goofy character. Like he has that serious. In all his roles, he's kind of serious, but at the same time,
Has
he
a
has
little
that
goof.
that
Yeah,
goofiness
goofiness,
to him. And he was all serious in this movie, and it just didn't hit home with me, and
All right.
I just wasn't a fan of it. I mean,
Yeah, they're remaking that.
no, good for them. Hopefully, they get somebody better than Keanu Reeves in this movie.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
You're hurting Keanu here.
yeah, I will hurt him just like Brendan Fraser. They're both terrible actors.
That's terrible.
I mean, everybody says, yeah, but
Matrix.
A bunch.
Matrix.
Bill and Ted's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matrix.
I just went for most successful.
John
Yeah,
Wick.
Matrix.
John
Matrix,
Wick
but
was
it-
amazing.
It wasn't him that made Matrix good. It was the
No, the
That was right in
acting
his
of
wheelhouse.
him was perfect.
Yeah.
it was bad.
Don't get me wrong, the
I
sequels
totally
to the Matrix
disagree.
are a mess of their
Yeah,
own.
there
but
was even
the first
worse.
Matrix is an excellent movie.
I don't think it was because of him, but I would think it was more the technology kind of.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
We agree to disagree.
I think he
guess
needed
so.
the bad acting. I think the bad
Yeah.
acting helped.
See, why would is that how you cast somebody
It fits-
nowadays?
it fits
Arnold
in some
Schwarzenegger
way.
is not.
No,
a
he's a
great
horror.
actor.
He's a horrible actor
But you
too.
still
not
love him in
horrible.
movies.
He is terrible.
He's not.
But
Yes,
you
he
still
is.
love him in movies, don't you?
I don't. No, I don't like him at all. But I liked him in Kindergarten Cop. I mean, because
We gotta sit down and watch like True Lies,
No.
Commando.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch those.
Come on.
True Lies is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
going
mean, I didn't like this movie at all. Like, it was just
So what did you rate it?
really bad. I gave it a 5.
I mean, that's
It's
on the
it's
fence,
mid grade, but I mean, I think if it was better acting, it could have been a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they casted it a little bit better, I think they kind of just went with who was popular at that time. I guess Patrick Swayze was big at that time, and Keanu Reeves was kind of young. But
I think it's a great heist movie, and it's definitely a great like guilty pleasure.
Nah.
Like I think it's one of those movies that you make fun of as you're going.
I didn't make
But
fun
it
of it
also
at all, though.
But you should have.
It wasn't like Roadhouse, where Roadhouse I can make fun of. Like I didn't find this like funny. I didn't find it I didn't find it like it being like Roadhouse was trying to be serious, but it was funny. This one was trying to be serious, and it wasn't serious at all, and it wasn't funny at all.
That's too bad.
It was just bad. It was a bad movie. I
it's-
apologize, and
Why are you apologizing?
because I know
own
it
up to
was
it.
up on top of your list of great movies. Like,
It is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine.
see, it's not for me. It just didn't hit me. I give it a 5, and that's it.
All right. Well, I was lucky enough to get Piranha, the 1978
Yeah, the original.
Piranha, the original.
Yeah.
And I would say my favorite part in this movie is one of the opening scenes when the main leading actress in it is playing the Jaws game.
Yep.
That's the best part of the movie. The movie itself, it's a total 70s B movie.
Yeah.
Like the fish in it, I mean, it was just comical. Like to see them going, and you hear that, like it's just so ridiculous. And I laughed every single time the fish were on the screen. And then you can just see them, like you know that like people are in there just like flopping fish around at them like the whole time, like they're just and like they just dump a bunch of like red liquid in the water to make it seem like it. But you have this guy who goes in to save the ball and save this kid on a canoe. He jumps in the water. He's getting attacked for like 90 seconds straight. They pull him out and he's just got a couple of bites all over his face. They throw this like leg of a pig in the water for like a second, throw it in and pull it out. It's bare to the bone. Like I'm like, what the hell? Like, but there's so much about this movie. Like it starts off with this really annoying kind of gullible woman who it is like she's just like almost an annoyance. Like she's like so gung ho about what she wants to do. She gets out of her Jeep right at the beginning and is like gets to this hot overheated Jeep and she goes to pick up the hood and it's like ow, ow, like because you can see smoke's coming out of it. And then what does she do this next time? Instead of taking the shirt that she had on and putting that over her hands to lift the hood up, she just touches it again. Like really, and to finally get it up. So, and then all of a sudden they don't show her fix the thing or anything. They just show her at the guy's house next. And this guy is the drunk bum out of nowhere. They give him a little interaction with this other guy who has a dog who's delivering him alcohol. And he's all happy about getting his bourbon, his tequila, his gin, his vodka.
Yeah.
And it's whatever. And the guy's constantly drinking out of a cantina. And they make him this drunk bum throughout the whole thing, but it doesn't even really fit in the movie. Like it does parts because they're like, oh, didn't I get you for that drunk and disorderly? Like, I don't believe anything you say ever again because you were drunk once. Like that kind of deal. Like, they don't know him as the drunk bum, but they know he was drunk once. And like, there's a couple other things that kind of go around that. And it's like, that it doesn't really play because it's not like he plays like this drunken person throughout the movie that is like causing issues. He's just a drunk that now, because he was drunk, people don't take him seriously. So, and like, that was another problem with this movie. They never got to anywhere on time to warn anybody ever. I was like, every single time, I'm like, all right, this is the time they're going to catch them before the fish attack. Nope. Like, people are dead everywhere. Oh, now they're going to this place to try and catch them and see and cut it off. Nope, they missed it again. Now they're going to try and go to this place. Oh, and like that kid on the canoe?
Yeah.
Like, they're floating down the river. They're going down the river, and they're 30 feet from the kid. It's not like they were just come around a corner or anything like that. They just all of a sudden now see this kid floating on a canoe who's 30 feet from them. Not like the 30 feet before that or the 30 feet before that because they're going down this straight river. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I was just like, one thing after that, but it's just over the top, 70s B. It's like this guy, it's like the director came on and was like, how can I film a really like kind of like funny, scary movie with piranhas, get as many girls in bikinis and girls that are willing to show their boobs.
Yeah.
Like, how many can I do this and film it all and then put it on as a movie?
That's what those movies
are. And that's
are.
like what he did. Yeah. And like, it just one thing after another, I was just like, oh my Lord, this is like, it was enjoyable because it made me laugh.
Yeah.
and some of the characters in it were kind of silly and over the top, and like at the very end, that guy he's getting all eaten up. The drunk guy,
the drunk
gets
guy,
kind of eaten up, and they bring his daughter is walking around like looking for her father. She's got like a towel and like his fucking alcohol cantina, looking for her father. I'm like, really? She's carrying around his booze for him?
Nice. I like it.
He's just waiting for her to take a swig. I was shocked that they actually had the kids get in danger and get the kids get all, chewed up. I was shocked. I was like, there's no way they're going to let kids get all eaten up. No way. No way.
78,
no way.
man.
And then boom, all of them
Yeah.
getting chewed to shit.
You couldn't do that nowadays, but you could possibly.
But I mean, that was just, I was shocked. I was shocked that they did that. And then, so then you got all that, and at the end, the daughter gives his father the cantina. It's like, he's putting it on his lips. Like, he's got like these really chapped and chewed up lips, and she's like taking stuff from his cantina, alcohol, and putting on his like chewed up lips. Like, I don't know. It was ridiculous. It was really funny. I mean, it was an enjoyable movie. I'm not going to rate it high because the quality of it was so poor. Like, the acting wasn't all that great. I mean, the drunk guy at the beginning, all he did was grunt for and he kept on he followed this woman around, and all he just kept on being like, I gotta go here, I gotta go there, like one thing after another. It was just like, I was like, I don't know. It was funny though. It was funny. It was enjoyable. I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Yep.
And would I watch it again? Absolutely. I'd watch it again.
I think you should watch the newer one, the
Piranha 3D.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it in 3D though. I mean, you can just watch the regular Piranha. But I think it was I got it. 2010. It has Elizabeth Shue in it, Jerry O'Connell and Richard Dreyfuss. A little bit more star laden, and it's actually a little bit more.
I don't know if these were stars in the day. I mean, this is 78.
I don't think so. I don't think they were.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But I love the new one. I watched the new one first before I went back and watched the original.
I also like the new one a lot.
The new one was really well done, and there's some really funny scenes in it. The boat scene was fucking hilarious.
They do it
with the porn star and everything.
Yeah, they do a really good job of making it kind of scary, but keeping up with the same humor that keeps it at a B movie.
Yeah, it's
but they definitely upped the ante with everything.
But I watched it in the movie theater when it first came out, the Piranha 3D.
I went to see it with my parents, and I couldn't believe I was watching this movie with my mom.
We sat in the movie theater. I can't remember who went with me. We sat in the movie theater, and we sat down, and there was an old couple behind us. I don't know if they didn't know what the movie was about or whatever. And it's pretty heavily explicit. And
well, if this gives it anything, I mean,
they got up within like the first 25 minutes of the movie, up and left, and it left me and whoever was with me the only ones in the theater.
Oh my god!
No, there was a group of kids in front of us too, and the movie ended and I clapped. I was, standing ovation. Let's go. I don't know if it was Liz that was with me or not. I can't remember, but I definitely gave it a standing ovation.
Nice.
I loved it. I loved the new one.
The old one was good. I mean, I would watch it again. Like if we did something like this, like getting together and watching it again, I think it would be enjoyable and funny because you could pick at it the whole time. Like, what the hell's going on here? What the come on, what's some continuity or something like that?
Don't watch the other ones though. Piranha 2 was terrible. Not the newer ones. The old Piranha 2. It was a terrible movie, but
okay.
I really like these kind of movies, and I didn't give it much higher than you. I mean, I gave it a 6.5, but it's one of those guilty pleasure movies for me.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was okay.
That hurt so good.
It's okay. We're finally done with all our segments. We're going to draw the names of the newest questions. We have
Justin. Our big hat.
Yes, in our huge hat. We have Justin Preston, Brad Neff, Paul Severance, Elizabeth Reed. They're all shaking over Chad, and Carla Kingsley. We have 5 different people. One person is going to win a Regal Cinema ticket, and that person is
Paul Severance.
Paulie. Paulie's winning the movie ticket. All right.
Congratulations.
Name, by the way.
Yeah, he's commenting. He loves your last name.
We gotta exchange movies now, right?
All right. Well, what movie are you going to give me this time?
I am gonna give you the fantastic Mr.
Fox. All right, I can do that.
A Wes Anderson, not Wes Craven film, by the way. I kept on telling Wes Craven for some reason.
I was like, Wes Craven directed this all?
Yeah, no. It is Wes Anderson, George Clooney, Meryl Streep, Bill Murray, Owen Wilson. Phenomenal movie. Saw it opening night. There you go.
Excellent.
Yes, I
Well-
can't wait for my movie.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna like this because the movie, the movie that I picked for you, I don't know if you've seen it. You might have seen it already.
Hopefully, I have.
Is Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure?
I've seen it.
You have?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah. So you do like Keanu
No.
from time to time.
No.
So let me see. What else do I got here? How about? Have you seen The Money Pit? Tom Hanks.
No.
Money Pit. You're watching The Money Pit.
Money Pit.
The Money Pit with Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Is Keanu Reeves in this one too?
No.
All right, good. I might enjoy it then.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Is it
Money
funny?
Pit. Yes, it
All right,
is
good.
funny.
I will like it then.
It is. The premise of it is about a house that Tom Hanks and his wife buy. You'll recognize the female. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she was in Cheers. Ted Danson's first love.
Okay.
And Frasier's. They were kind of
Okay.
They buy a house together that they are going to fix up. It turns out to be a money pit. It's just about watching the whole thing play out and watching them go through everything. And it's
Nothing like Moneyball.
It's not anything like Moneyball at all.
His name is
Vinny.
Shelley Long, by the way.
Yes, Shelley Long. There you go. You got Money Pit. I got Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I am looking forward to seeing.
Yes.
We are going to wrap this thing up. Where can people find you on the interwebs, Mr. Doug?
The main place would probably be Twitter at Douglas Burns, and it's BERNS.
BERNS. Not Mr. Burns.
No.
Douglas Burns. All
Douglas
right.
Burns.
All right. So, Chad, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Pretty much everywhere. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at DJ Dizzle82. You can find me on not Instagram. What the hell is it called? Snapchat at Sir Chadwick Davis 82. And I'm gonna leave you with this quote: "True love is hard to find. Sometimes you think you have true love, and then you catch the early flight home from San Diego, and a couple of nude people jump out of your bathroom, blindfolded like a goddamn magic show, ready to double team your girlfriend."
Old school.
Old school.
Hey. Oh, that's great. And obviously, you can find me over on the various interwebs at the Cinebros. That's Twitter, Instagram. At the Cinebros. You can also find me on Facebook.com/the Cinebros. That's where we do most of our work. Make sure that you remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is a huge thing.
Yes.
We need to get up to 500 subscribers. We're slowly creasing. Let's get that up. Like, share it. Do whatever you can to help us out to get to 500 subscribers. Really appreciate that on YouTube. All you have to do is sign into YouTube. Then you go over and you click that little subscriber button. Also, if you listen to our podcast on iTunes, we are also on Stitcher Radio. But if you listen to it on iTunes, please go and take the couple minutes out of your day to go and rate and review us. It helps us a lot by getting our podcast heard more, which if we're getting it heard more, that means, we'll be able to start hopefully maybe even put more content out for you guys. We really appreciate all your help on that, and I can't wait till our next episode. We got a lot of good stuff again to talk about. We might have a guest, we might not. It's up in the air right now, but I'll keep you guys informed on that. I'll be getting in contact with all the questions, the people who sent in the questions. I'll be getting in contact with the winners of the contests real soon to fire off those movie tickets for you, and we're going to start doing giveaways more and more often. The other thing is too about sending in questions. We're going to start doing it at our email account, which is thecinebros@gmail.com. So if you can send in all your questions to thecinebros@gmail.com, that'll be great. I'll have it all in one spot. I can pull them up, I can top them in folders, and this way I can answer them as we go on, and I'll try and get to as many as possible. This week was great. I love the questions. It can really adds to some good talk, because there's things that we wouldn't normally think to talk about, and I love it. I loved it. So your questions, keep bringing them in so that we can get us our lovely, beautiful, velvety voices talking to you about them. That's it for this episode of Cine Talk, episode 6. We're at 6. Woohoo! Woo! And all right, we will
reaching 10, baby.
Yeah, that's right. We were gonna be
10. Will be a big 1.
10. We'll pop I don't know, orange juice, because it'll probably be in the morning. We'll pop some OJ.
Yeah, we'll pop some OJ.
Make some mimosas.
Yeah, a mimosa, maybe coffee with Baileys.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the end of our show. We really appreciate you watching, and please share and then comment in the show below. Anything you want to do, you have anything to argue with us about what we said, drop it in the comment section below. Hit us up on Facebook and yell at us. Do whatever you got to do. And again, we have me, Chad, and Doug all here, and we are going to say bye-bye. You're my boy, Blue!
I close my eyes, only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes in curiosity. Dust in the wind.
Looks like you better put the KY Wrestling on hold for a
All
while.
we are is dust
Good
in
idea.
the wind.
Look, please don't beat yourself up over this thing, Mitch. It's not your fault. Damn it, Blue is old. That's what old people do. They die.